this car at Hunt Valley Cars and Coffee, and then I posted pictures of cars that I took pictures of on my Instagram, and Pat started following me, and I showed him, and I was like, Dad, the guy with the I-8 started following me on Instagram. So that's how I found out Pat. So
yeah. So that's all on us so far.
Yep. Excellent. Okay, thank you. Somebody just said, I got an echo. I have no idea why there's an echo on my.
Turn it down a little bit.
I don't know why. It's either picking it up through multiple sources or what. I don't know. I'll try to figure that out. I'll let Dan go ahead next if you don't mind.
Well, I was gonna start my intro by letting you know that you have echo, but I guess we already found that out. I'm Dan. All my socials are at Exhausted Outdoors. I know I still get Exhausted's tag. It's good. What can I say? I mean, it works. You got exhaust for cars. You got outdoors for the other naturey things I do. So yeah, I'm just here. I'm chilling. I pretend I know what I'm talking about, but so yeah, just shoot questions.
All right, it's still there. I'm modifying my mic output, but.
Well, if that's the case, then I have some questions from the Instagram fan, if you want me to start with those.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's from everybody else.
All right.
Start talking.
When they all start talking, there's okay, so this speaker is going into that mic.
Loud, yeah. So either you need to put your.
I got a response. What is your favorite hot hatch? I think I'm not a fan of hatchbacks, so I'm gonna pass. I got a couple, but I'll send it to you guys.
Oh, that's easy for me. 2350Z was my favorite hatchback, mainly because it had a stabilizer bar that went through the car, and we made a custom speaker box that I still have that we wedged right under that stabilizer bar. And man, when you have two tens back there inside a hatchback with a little bit of juice pumping through there,
it'll bump.
It's like it's sitting front.
Well, so Dan, the question there that comes up, and I have to readjust as I ask this question, is that hot hatch referring to anything that came from the factory as a hatchback, your 350s, 370s, your Honda Civics, what have yous, or is that also including like the Zagato custom builds, the Chevy Aerovets, the stuff where some guy with a welding torch like zipped off the back, made it a shooting brake? To me, that's still a hatch.
Well, I mean, give us one of each since you're the connoisseur.
I'm not going to say connoisseur, but I've seen some mighty beautiful looking Jaguars that have, lift gates on the back, a couple two-door Aston wagons. I have seen the Corvette Aerovet, still not sure how I feel about it. I just love things that got a trunk on it. So like the Volvo C30, again, I'm a Volvo fanboy. I'm not wearing a Volvo shirt right now, but it's 250 untuned, 300 plus horsepower. You sleeve it, you block it, blah blah blah. Some guy that I know on Insta just built an all-wheel drive manual transmission variant. So hot hatch to the fullest, man.
All right, you guys. Well, I guess the camera's different for me.
Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm manually turning my audio off to my live stream. So
they say it's good,
so there's no echo.
Yeah.
So I wish I could fix it, but that's all I got right now. But yeah, everybody said the echo was gone when they killed it. So anyway, let me do quick introductions here. Let's start with you.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Rebecca, kind of the adult of the group. I'm the mom. I keep this one in line. And right now, I don't drive anything fun. I just have a little Volkswagen Jetta, who's my little super daily driver. But eventually, one day, we'll get there.
And I'm Pat. I met all of these great people either online or at different car shows. So it was really great. And I love to follow people on Instagram. So if I see some neat car pictures that I enjoy, I'll hit you up on Instagram, and I'll follow more people who follow me. But I really enjoy not only just car people and cars in general, but of course, for me, I started out as a Corvette guy many years ago. When I was 19, I saw my first vet, the C3 Corvette. I had to have it. had to work on it. But Dad was a mechanic, taught me everything. And as the internet evolved, I decided to go ahead and get my 97 vet at the time, 98, get my 97 vet at the time, put pictures up online and show people like how to do things because they were afraid to work on the car back when the car first came out. So when the platform of YouTube came up, so I'll back up just 10 years, lost my job, was working at a financial company when the financial crisis hit, had to sell my Corvette. So I didn't have a sports car between then and now. So I decided I'm just going to go ahead, save up my money, and eventually buy a new Corvette. And that's when I saw the BMW i8 as a similar car and decided, why don't I just give this a try? And I was pretty happy with the choice. Yeah, I miss the rawness, the horsepower and the raw feeling of a real car. This thing is its own animal. But what it's done is really given me an opportunity to learn more about the car. And as I learned more, I decided, why don't I just put this up on YouTube? So this really wasn't a venture for me to actually start a YouTube channel. It was this would be a nice platform to be able to share information. The people who had YouTube channels said, try this or try that. And eventually it turned into this character that I am, this mechanic that never gets his hands dirty. And it's been a learning process to be able to put content up on the internet and pictures on Instagram. And it's really changed my life because I've given myself an opportunity to not be that shy introvert that I really am, and to be a personality that I could be, not only online, but even in public, because it's harder for me to reach out and connect with people. Just a quick dovetail off of Eric there. Thank you for your 20 years of service. I know you're a Navy vet. I only did 4 years in the Army, and that was it. I couldn't take any more. I had to get out and get on with my life. But I appreciate that.
How did you get into cars? That's something I didn't. I have to go back and do my.
How did I get? So my dad was a mechanic he was born in 41, so he was a mechanic in the 50s when everybody was hot rodding cars, rolling their sleeves up, and racing. I mean, it was American graffiti. He lived it, so it was one of those things when I was old enough to understand cars better and ask some questions, he would take me to car shows. So there were car cruises and car shows. It was mainly classic cars, and that's how I got an interest in it. And then when I got my first Corvette, the '78 Corvette, I wanted to work on it and didn't know what I was doing, and he showed me the way. So since then, I've gone on and of course gotten into the platform like this. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think, it. I mean, I had Hot Wheels stuff too as a kid, but mine were all the paint was chipped off because I actually played with them.
Yeah, and I got into cars.
They got to stay in the packages.
I got into cars probably middle school, early high school. Really started getting into like top tier UK, obviously, because when I'm going to talk about the American version, doesn't exist. And from then, one of my uncles has a Ferrari, and the first time getting to be in any sort of exotic or supercar, and from that, like, solidified my love for the exotics.
Cool. Hey Pat, I wanted to add something, man. How you were going to buy a Corvette and then you end up with the i8. I have the exact same story. I had a 2011 2SS Camaro. I got it in 2011. Shortly a year after the Transformers movie came out, there was all the rage getting the Bumblebee, whatever. So I had a black one with a white racing stripes down the middle, and I said, man, I'm going to get a Corvette because they actually had a concept Stingray in the movie as well. And I said, man, I'm going to get that Corvette after I'm finished with the Camaro. Long story short, I watched every C7 video on YouTube. I stumbled on an i8 video. Ended up with the i8. True story.
So
that's amazing, because I follow a lot of C7 people too, and I've met a lot of C7 people. It's great. I mean, I've had an opportunity to not only C7 but all Corvettes, and there's so much information out there. So many great Corvette channels, and I just absolutely love them. But yeah, the i8 stuff was, besides Heidi and Franny, that was really where I learned about my i8. So yeah, you're right, absolutely.
Yeah, me too, man. And it was crazy when I saw that you had met Heidi and Franny. I was like, there's no way the very first video that I ever saw, Pat knows them. And I'm not gonna mention, the other guy that y'all talk about that y'all know all the time, man. I'm like, man, I'm down here in North Carolina. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just be the one then. I'll just blow up here, then that way people can say they know me.
We'll get him to meet you. Just say
Eric,
you want to
you
race.
got you got a guy down in Carolina though. You got C. Garner Street Speed or C. Garner Speed. I can't think of what his full handle is.
252. Yeah, he's a C7.
Yeah, and he's
just
down
won a
in
C8.
your area, and he's got a brand new
Chrome,
C8
right?
that he's gonna do some toying with.
Do y'all know him? I'm sure somebody in the group knows him.
I met him.
I'll
He's
reach
a nice
out to
guy.
him for you. We back and forth on Insta every now and then.
He's the one with the wait. Oh, I don't have his poster. In
He's
this house.
got
He's the one with
he
the,
has a
chrome one,
C7
right?
that's chrome with the wings.
Yep.
He kept
Alex
that
Smith
one,
with
and he's got the C8 now.
Okay, let's make the connection. So if he's in North Carolina anywhere, I'll hop in the I-8 and go straight electric all the way there.
So while we're still on the i8 question, I've got a serious question for both of you. I'm not going to make any assumptions that all sports cars need to have a manual transmission. But as I go back to my sports car has a manual transmission, Eric going from the Camaro, I hope it had 3 pedals. Pat going from the C3, I hope it had 3 pedals. What's it like transitioning from that, American muscle, raw horsepower, like just tire shredder into a gentleman's coupe that can also have some good time on the track?
I'll go ahead and it's a completely different animal altogether. And if I had to put it in just a few words, I would say I miss the American muscle. I miss it. But I need both of them. I need both because all the American muscle that I've driven over the years, some nice looking cars or whatever, something about the I-8 when it pulls up, it just changes the atmosphere. Something about when the I-8 comes to an intersection, it completely changes the atmosphere. And it's not about horsepower. It's not about any of those things. And it's something about riding, and it's completely silent. When you're in full electric mode, you don't hear a thing. It's just calming. You know what I'm saying? But you do want some tire shredding sometimes, and I miss that. And I'm going to get that C8. But currently, the C8 can't do a burnout or donuts.
No, they just proved that wrong. Miss Amelia did one, and I think Stradman did one also.
Well, the transmission.
It may throw some codes.
Yeah. So the car itself starts to shut down when it goes into a donut or drifting or anything like that. So so you can't. The car is not going to allow you. You probably can do one, but you're gonna have to fight the car to actually do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you watch Cletus McFarland's video on it, you're talking about the C8 burnout. Sorry, I'm like reading messages and stuff. It actually does. Just the issue is with the heat, with the rubber and all that, and because it's rear engine, mid engine, it gets so much grip that it just can't. It tries to hook. It can't really burn out.
Yeah, I was watching a video of a guy that works at the Corvette Museum. He was talking about the computer on the car. They were saying that they might be able later. They may be able to put a program in for that all to change so that the transmission, the engine doesn't do a thing.
It was the same thing with the C7.
Oh, yeah?
It took them forever to crack the ECU, and once they did, they were able to. I mean, they have C7s making so much horsepower, it's ridiculous.
Well, and you've got CSP right now out in Westchester, Andrew and the team, and they've got 2 of them now. And I haven't debunked everything. They say that one of those is a pre-production. I still have my doubts a little bit, but Andrew's kind of a buddy, so I'm not gonna bash it too hard. But even if it is, they're going to have fun with that. They're going to tear that car apart, and they're going to have it within, I'd say, 6 months, or if not less.
Well, Hennessy already twin turboed one, and I'm pretty sure RPM has one too, which is actually in Maryland for you guys. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, isn't RPM in Delaware? Not that it really matters. It's on the line.
No, because don't they have Cecil County sponsored?
Possibly.
I thought they did. Oh well. Maybe I'm confusing myself.
Well, and Hennessy also has millions of dollars to throw at the project.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Hennessy, they're out there.
I don't think John and company are really caring about, what goes on.
Yeah. All right.
What you guys been doing during this quarantine?
This.
Yeah, losing my mind.
Catching up on old videos, commenting, building out the channel. I'm at 998 on Instagram and 707 on YouTube. So it's been a slow, you know. They're telling us to slow the curve with COVID. I'm trying to increase the curve on social.
Trying to stonk it up.
Right.
Some stonks.
You know, I used to hear, I've heard so much negativity, man, during like the quarantine and everything, man. I actually flipped it around and I was telling people it's going to be a great time to buy a car. And who knew a week later that me and my wife was going to buy the Lexus GX 460, and we got a great deal on it. I told my auto broker, I said, look, normally you kind of push back on me, but I said, now I'm pushing back on you. You guys are not selling cars every week like you were doing before. So here's what we're going to pay for the GX 460. You know what I'm saying? Roll out the red carpet, and I don't want to hear any pushback. Literally, the number that we wanted, we got it. And when I tell you Lexus customer service is white glove red carpet all the way.
On that note, Eric, yeah. I use the term buddy a lot. I've got a lot of buddies in the automotive industry to the point where, like, I'll talk about Doug DeMuro. Oh, yeah, my buddy over here. But I have a friend of mine, is a good friend. He owns a Lexus dealership in Allentown, Lexus Lehigh Valley. When you say red carpet, when you say their customer service is the greatest, you buy a car 3 hours away, they'll have one of their drivers bring the loaner, pick up the car, bring it back, and it also happens to be that in the center of his showroom is an LFA. So, like, you also go and you go for the latte, you go for the brownie, but you stay for the LFA. That's really
No, that's on my bucket list. The LFA, just to
LFA. Yeah. But you're right, man. They told us we are about an hour and a half away from the dealership, and they was like, "Hey, do you want us to bring you the car, whatever?" So we did everything over the phone and via email. You know what I'm saying? All the paperwork and everything. And we were so excited. We was like, "Nah, we'll drive there." You know, because she had the 4Runner and it was paid for, and we were gonna trade that in as a part of the deal. So we was like, we'll drive down there. You know, we were in cabin fever. We wanted to get out of the house, but we didn't even have to go inside because of things that are going on right now. They just said, hey, they brought everything outside. You know, they helped take the car seats out and put it in the new truck. Red carpet, you know, just complete red carpet. A nice Lexus umbrella. You know, the shopping bags that you can use now, so you don't have to keep using disposable bags. They got Lexus on there, man. I'm like, y'all basically set me up to buy another Lexus as good as you treated me. I'm serious. Like, I want to buy another Lexus just based on that experience. I could only imagine if we would have actually have gone inside and sat down during regular times. You know, I don't know what they would have done. Maybe put us in a wheelchair and rolled us in or something like that.
So,
I don't know.
On that note, again, I'm staring at your i8 behind me, but talking about buying another Lexus, could you see yourself trading the i8 up for like an LC 500?
You must have like a microphone in my wife's truck, because on the way back home today, she was talking about the LC. And I said, man, you know, I've been talking a lot about the Corvette and a lot about the wide-eye, red-eye Hellcat Challenger. And I said, man, that LC is a whole different level. It's almost like in a category by itself. You know what I'm saying? You don't see people talking about the LC. Like, is the LC faster than the Hellcat? Like, you don't even see it, like, comparatively. It's just kind of by itself, and it's a different price range, too. Yeah, I could see myself getting the LC, honestly. I really could.
They're sick. I think we had a couple pull up to one of our cruises.
But look, since we have a friend now that owns a dealership, I might be driving the i8 up north for a trade-in. Since we have a friend that owns the Lexus dealership.
Wait, let's hear what Pat's got to say on this one.
Well, yeah. The thing is, so I hang out on a lot of i8 forums, and I got to tell you, the people that end up getting rid of them, a lot of them can kick themselves because it's a totally different car. And I think that being able to have, yeah. All right. Got to flex a little bit? All right, hold on.
Yeah, but Pat, it looks like Eric still got his wheels on.
Oh.
Are you on hover mode?
Yeah. So
we don't need wheels where we're going.
my car cannot do a donut just like a C8 because I don't have any wheels on it. But you know, I don't know. I toyed around with the idea of getting rid of the i8, and ultimately, probably what I want to do is I miss that raw sound of a car, that feeling of a car. I'm probably going to end up buying another car. Now, we went and looked at. Man, it's really bright in here all of a sudden.
It's because that.
No, it's because the door's open.
And the doors, the heavens gates are open now.
That's what it was.
No, it's because
It was-
turned on.
Because this was so dark, it was whitewashing us to compensate for the contrast. So, anyway, we are very much interested in the Alfa Romeo 4C.
Yeah.
It's all car
Ooh.
driver, it's a mid-engine car.
Have you talked to the guy who pulls up to our meets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I follow him and I talk to him a lot. She had a chance to drive one, but the price was too high. They wanted 42. I said, once you get down to 37, let's talk. Well, they're starting to come down. Even I saw one that even has less miles than that. The one that's in Frederick here has 275 miles on it. It's a 2018, and now they've just come down from 42 to 40. And I may be able to say, hey, 37, and be able to get that car with 275 miles on it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's a convertible. I don't like convertibles, but if the price is right and it's local, you know, who cares at this point? But
So I'm gonna put Dan in charge because he keeps changing his background here. Can you find us a picture of the Alfa Romeo 8C while we're discussing
Yes.
the 4C?
yeah, the 8C is different. It's definitely a different beast too. But hey, I don't want to let Thick Garage out because they've been asking lots of questions, and I've been doing a lot of talking here. So I want to make sure. Here's my question for Soto. What was your first car, and what did you like and hate the most about it?
My very first car was an Audi 5000,
Ooh.
and I mean, it was my first car. I loved it. It was a 4-door sedan. It wasn't a race car or by any means. But my second car, my parents helped me. They put the down payment down. I was 17 years old. I bought the brand new body style Mustang GT manual. I didn't know how to drive manual, and my dad said, "You want to learn how to drive this car? You better learn how to drive manual because that's all he ever drove, and he loved manual transmission." So I took it out and I learned. I grinded a lot of gears, and by the end of the day, I learned how to drive it. But after that, I had that for a while, and then when I started my own business, I bought an M3. It was a 2000, and in 2006, I bought an M3, brand new. I was in the restaurant business. I couldn't leave the restaurant to buy the car, so I called BMW and I said, "Can you deliver the car here, and we'll sign the contract with the restaurant?" And they said, "Sure." So they delivered the car while I was on the grill chopping up cheesesteaks because I was in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Did the contract right there, handed the keys over, and off I went. I've always wanted an M3 back then.
Did you send him home with a cheesesteak?
I don't remember if I did or not. Probably. Either that or a pizza. But it was a great car, the M3. I always loved BMWs, and that's what drove me to drive to get the 5 Series. So yeah, but the first car was an Audi 5000. It wasn't very fast, but I wrecked it trying to race.
They say it's more fun to drive a slow car
in a
fast.
residential area.
Yeah.
Huh?
They say it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow.
Yeah.
My first car was a Chevrolet Chevette, 1986. It was an automatic with no power steering, no power brakes, wind down windows. So if I was at the top of a hill, I could just turn the ignition off and had full functionality all the way down to the bottom of the hill, just coast, and then I'd put it in neutral, turn it back on, and keep going. I hated the car because it had no power, and if you wanted to do 70 mile an hour, your foot was to the floor, it wouldn't go anywhere. It went through a camshaft. It actually burned. It burnt the lobes off the camshaft, and I don't think that was me driving it. I think that was me just trying to use it as a car, and that was a real killer. And your first car, you just bought it.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Yeah, it's your first car.
I have a twin brother, and our first car was a Ford Focus, 2010 Ford Focus. But then my Jetta's my first one. That's, you know, in my name. I'm paying for it completely myself, that sort of thing. There was a question for E-Vapors about what year your i8 is.
That's a 15. It's a 15. I got it last year. It had 21,000 miles on it, still under manufacturer's warranty. Because it's a 5-year, 50,000 mile warranty. And what I did, I actually paid for the extended maintenance plan. So I have a friend of mine who's a friend at a BMW dealership, and they gave us a really good deal on the extended maintenance plan. So
warranty.
oh, that's my car. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay.
I'm pretending to be cool.
I got a picture on Instagram in a parking garage. I thought that was it. But
I literally looked up BMW i8 parking garage.
Is there a separate warranty for the battery pack? Is it 100,000?
It's more
Yeah.
miles. Yeah.
So the battery, the high voltage battery in the car is good for 8 years or 100,000 miles. However, there's 6 different battery modules in the pack, and if one of the modules starts to go bad, they can drop the entire thing out, pull just one module, replace it, put it back in. So the chances of you actually getting an entire new battery are pretty slim, which means that, yeah, if you're nearing the end of that 8-year mark, you don't know what you're going to get. And that's one of the risks with maintaining or keeping this car past 8 years since production. And, you know, that's a concern. I mean, I bought mine was a CPO warranty car, so I had an extra year and unlimited miles, and I'm coming up to the end on November, middle of November. I will no longer have a warranty on this car. I will be the warranty, and I'll have to go out to see Tavarish's channel and get the I Am the Warranty t-shirt at that point, if I do keep the car that long. So yeah, I'm in that mode now where how much risk do I want to take? Because it is risky to have this car. And, you know, that's the problem with anything that has big batteries in it.
There's a question for Soto.
Don't ask it.
Bimmer Vlogs said they have a 2015 335i M Sport. Does that have the same motor as the 535?
I can answer.
Well, if it's an N55 motor, then we do.
He has the N55. He actually has the same exact car as me, except his is newer, cooler, and mine's older, tuned, and not M Sport. So I believe they're the same. There's a little bit different. Your intake, I believe, is like towards the back of the car, right? Ours just comes right out the side by the driver's side
Right.
front tire.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So they're like 2 different versions of the N55, but they're pretty much the same internals and all that. I believe
Hey
so.
Pat, I could see myself upgrading the i8 to the convertible. I've thought about that a few times. I said, man, I could see myself, you know, getting the Corvette or whatever, LC or whatever that is, and then double back and add on, you know, a newer i8. You know what I'm saying? Convertible. Prices came down, you know, in 2 or 3 years or whatever. I can see that very easily. But right now, the local shop that I deal with, as far as like aesthetics and everything, they're about to open back up and start doing some work. So we've been talking about a wrap literally since I got the car. So we have a custom wrap in mind. So the ball is in motion. You know, what you see right here, go ahead and take a picture of it because it's about to completely change, and it's going to be all extrovert like Pat. Oh, he's actually taking a picture.
Oh, me too.
Well, that's cool because I had actually thought about the same thing. When depreciation was looking like it wasn't significant per year, I said, well, there's no point in getting an extended warranty because this thing will depreciate, you know, around the same amount of extended warranty would cost me. I just ought to dump the car and get a newer one. Now, I wouldn't get the convertible because I like it to be 70 degrees all the time, and I can't get that in a convertible. That's the one thing. It's just uncomfortable for me. I just prefer, you know, that 68, 72 degrees, and that's why, you know.
He's high maintenance.
Yeah, I have sunroof in my truck, and I don't use it, you know, because it's pointless. I'm high maintenance.
Yeah.
But I want to go back. I want to ask the question again, but to the rest of the panel, first car, what you liked and hated about it.
I thought I had you beat, Pat, and then you started talking about your first car, and I'm like, no, Pat has me beat. First car that I drove was a 1989 Dodge Grand Caravan. It was the deep blue, wood paneling down the side. Had every option except for the CD player from the factory. In '89, mind you. And that car was the hauler. It was my parents handed me the keys and said, we cover gas and insurance, but as soon as we need something, you drop and go. I was like, all right, I've got wheels, but I'm now enslaved to them. First car that I myself owned was a 1992 Honda Accord LX that prior to my taking ownership of it, it was involved in a bank robbery. Die pack exploded. Dan perks up. Die pack exploded in the back. I bought it for $200. Did the transfer at the DMV. I was the second owner. And when my family and I finally, put her out to pasture, she had $375,000 or $395,000. And we only retired her because she would not go into reverse. And as you know, going to grocery stores, you cannot always pull through. So we decided that it was time to give her up. But she was a noble steed, she was.
I can go next, I guess. This is my first car.
Ooh.
I had a 2001 Lexus RX 300. I bought it for $1,500, and it still isn't broken. I sold it to my sister for $1,500. So I actually made out well on it. I think it had 200,000 miles on it. No issues. Lexus, Toyota, way to go. But I'm stupid, and I like to go BMW and ride on the edge.
Big money waster.
Boom, bingo. You're right.
I'll go ahead and jump in, man. My first car, I'll name two. My first car was a Geo Tracker. Y'all remember the little Jeep, the Tracker?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Geo Tracker.
Yeah. So I remember the second time I drove it, I came home from a deployment. I'd been gone for 6 months, came back with a little bit of money, walked down the street from the base, and it was like the second car lot. And didn't want to walk anymore, so I drove off with a Geo Tracker. Drove home to North Carolina, picked up my brother and two of my brothers, and took the top off. And we got about 5 miles down the road, and we were in heavy traffic, and it started raining. And I had left the top at home.
Ooh.
So we're looking for 4 idiots in complete downpour rain, sitting in heavy traffic in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So that was we laugh about it today. But what was crazy, when I was in basic training, man, my mom had got a 325i. It was a gold color. I want to say it was probably maybe a 1989, kind of a square model. If y'all remember those 325s around 89. And it was a manual. And at that time, I didn't know how to drive a manual that good. So this was literally, I came from basic training. My mom picked me up from the airport, and a friend of mine was with me. And she threw me the keys and was like, hey, y'all go have some fun. And I was like, Mom, I don't know how to drive a stick. And my friend was like, she would ask my friend, you know how to drive a stick? And he was like, yeah. So he taught me how to drive a stick that day, coming home from basic training. Wow. Haven't looked back. But now I guess the manual is a thing of the past, because I heard they don't even make the C8s in manuals. So the game is over now. It's all computer.
Yep, that's true. Hey, and one thing about those Geo trackers, my uncle actually just bought one recently. It's old, but he uses it on some farmland and does a little bit of hunting with it, and he absolutely loves it. I think he had to replace panels with pieces of metal just because it was rusting apart. But, they will go. They will absolutely go everywhere.
We could honestly dedicate a whole show to Geo trackers. My mechanic had one that actually got totaled on a military base by a trampoline. A hurricane or some type of wind, it's in a valley, picked up this entire trampoline and it smacked into it and totaled it. And the military base actually covered it.
What's the little Suzuki one?
The Samurai?
The Samurai. The Suzuki Samurai was like a Geo Tracker on steroids and full capabilities.
Yeah.
And also a giant death trap.
I don't think any of those were the safest thing in the world.
Nah, man, they were fun though, man. That was one of the best summers I had, man. Riding around in a convertible, man. 18 years old with a pocket full of cash, at least for 2 weeks worth of cash.
Right. Yep. I totally get that too. You know, when I went in the military, I said, you know, I want to buy a Corvette, and there I was like, when I got the Ford Meade, I guess I was E2, maybe E3 by the time I actually was able to buy the Corvette. You know, 78 Vet back in 1994, and I don't remember what I was making. Probably $300. I mean, we were in around the same time. You know, whatever your pay was every 2 weeks was not a lot of money. But you know, my insurance on that Corvette was $200 every 6 months, and that was for full coverage. Yeah, it raises a lot of eyebrows. Nobody even believed me. I said, "Here's the copy of my bill. It's not a lot of money," and you know, maybe you can get a 78 Vet for $200 a month now. I don't know.
So speaking about first vehicles we drove, the first vehicle I drove, which you all know me, I'm a very small person, was a 2000 or 2001, I believe. I think it was 2000 Dodge Ram Dually 3500 stick shift, and I had to slam the seat as far forward as possible. I could barely see over the dash, and I could barely push the clutch all the way in. So I kind of know how to drive manual, but also not really. But yeah, that was the first vehicle I drove, was this giant dually, you know.
Did that truck have the bench seat or the split?
It was a bench seat, but like I was still able to move the driver's seat independently.
Okay.
I wish I got a manual transmission now. When I was driving it daily to work, I'm glad I didn't. But now that I don't drive it as much and I have another vehicle to drive, since I bought my wife the new vehicle, I miss manual transmission.
Well, you can pick up one of the V10s there, buddy. You can have Pat do the work on it.
Yeah, we'll see. We have some plans.
I don't think you mind.
You guys got some plans there too. I mean, you know, Evan's got his own car too, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be working on putting videos on that soon.
All right, tell us about your car, Evan.
So I have a 2010 Mercedes C300. I got it, what was it, a little over a year ago. I bought it from him.
It used to be my car.
Yeah, I bought it from him. So that's my first car. It's a 7-speed, I think, automatic. I don't know how to drive manual. I want to learn.
Yeah.
Originally, I wanted to get a WRX, be a Subi guy, but yeah, I'm not complaining for owning a Mercedes. So.
What engine's in that Mercedes?
It's a 3-liter V6.
Okay, so that's before they went to the 4 turbo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we're gonna do exhaust, put some.
That'll sound nice.
Upgrade the suspension.
I already have a resonator delete on it, so
I bought my car.
I want to get rid of the mufflers because, I mean, why not? Just do a full catback. But yeah, I want to get lowering springs or coilovers, something to lower it. Bill spacers.
Man, it's gonna be dope.
That sounds like everything I want to do with my Jetta, because it sits too high, it's too quiet. It's everything I need to do to my car too.
That used to be my car, and then I decided to just chop everything off, and now it's just straight plays. It's obnoxious, and it has a burble tune, so it sounds like gunshots. It's not practical at all. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Eric's shaking his head. He doesn't know what that sounds like right now.
I'm thinking about my neighbors and the POA.
Well, I ended up putting I have a valve, so I can divert the muffler if I want.
Okay.
It sounds like Baltimore City when you got the verbal deleted.
Yeah. Oh man.
You can control how aggressive it is though.
Yeah, using boot mode, which actually I think Soto, you were talking about doing something with that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. That's on my to-do list. Boot
It's
mode.
a good program. I enjoy
I gotta
it on
get
the
that charge
one.
plate first.
Oh, charge plates. I blew mine up.
Yeah, they're very faulty. That's normal.
Now, okay, on the i8s, is there anything like that that's like the faulty thing that's known to blow? Like I know on our cars it's a charge pipe. Is there anything like that in the i8s? Like turbo seal or anything?
Your door springs are known to crap out.
Well, they're part of the regularly scheduled maintenance. So I mean, I had my I guess 30-some thousand mile maintenance, and they changed the the hydraulics in the doors and everything. So I hadn't had, but I did notice once they changed them, all the way up.
Yeah.
And the little plastic piece with the engine compartment, right? The
Oh, you mean the trunk? Well, Pat did a video on.
Yeah, that's. Yep.
Yeah, ever since that video, I close mine very gently now.
I just read an article today, and I want to say the Road and Track was like 2 years old because like a car guy, I've got magazine hoards all over the house for when like you're looking for something that's old, and it was talk about I think for the Roadster, the clips that kept the tonneau cover in place kept snapping, and BMW designed a laser 3D printed fixture that goes in place of that plastic piece, and they're making 240 in a shot. And it's lighter and probably a lot more expensive because it's a BMW part, and it works.
Yep.
But it's when you take those little things, okay, great, it looks good on paper, and then you got Pat tearing it apart. I'm waiting for like the 2025 i8 variety that has the LED cutouts in the back, and it's gonna say like designed in Pat's garage, manufactured in Germany. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, in Munich.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. I mean, for me, trying to understand things. Yeah, so there are certain cars that have problems that are really weird, and mine was one of them where I had the windshield would crack. It had a stress crack at the very top, and then it branched this way towards the A-pillars where the doors mount. So I believe that the doors were causing a lot of stress on the glass and the very outer pane of the glass, because it's two pieces with the polymer material in between. The outer pane cracked, and I think that's because the doors pulled on it. Now I found 13 other cars posted on Bimmer Post around the world that had the same exact problem. And Eric also had stress crack. So and I remember he had his video as well as showing that he had his windshield replaced. So that's one of the things. I do know these cars do go through turbos quickly, and it's really not that like a boost problem. It just fails. And when it fails, they just got to put a new turbo in it. And I think a lot of cars go through that. But there's really not much you can do to the i8. There's a tune out there that costs about $1,500 and gives you about 40 horsepower. So in my opinion, it's not worth it. And if you do put that on your car and something does happen, they can blame it on the tune, and then your powertrain is gone. It's risky. So I don't want to do that. So the few modifications that I have done, the flap on the intake, which is kind of ridiculous. That flap is there just to prevent intake noise. That's open, and of course the exhaust valve. Now I use the weight and the string in order to pull the fuse when the car was under power in order to get the exhaust valve open. But I'm also working on an idea now, and I actually made a purchase. I didn't tell you about this. I made a purchase yesterday through Pacific Motors, which sells salvage parts for the i8 and a lot of other cars. But they had a intake box where you put your air cleaner, and between the intake box and the turbo is the clean air pipe, and that clean air pipe is muffled. It was, if you wanted to buy it brand new, it cost about $1,000. And that clean air pipe has some type of a muffler in it in order to prevent any type of intake noise from exiting the vehicle through your normal intake. So I wanted to get one, and for $90 plus $5 shipping, I am getting a clean air pipe intake muffler that I want to see what it is made of. And if that means that I slice it open with a Dremel tool and find a way to modify it, put it back together, and then do some of that plastic welding with like the soldering gun, I may try that and then put that on the car and then see what it sounds like. I also have a K&N filter, like the conical ones. I had one on my truck years ago, and it's a universal. I built my own mount for it to hook it up to the truck. So I want to take that mount off of there and see if I could stick the universal on the end of the clean air pipe. Of course, there's also the mass airflow sensors in there, so I gotta make some cuts, and of course I have extra salvage parts in order to replace the the stock parts. So that's my plan then for the i8 to see if I can squeeze a little bit more power out of it and be able to put everything back to stock.
I've got.
Hey,
You go,
I
Eric.
got a question. I got a question from a viewer for E-Vapors and Pat. What's your favorite feature of the i8 besides the doors?
okay, besides the doors, full electric mode, man. Generally when I pull up, when I'm riding, I'm usually in sport mode. It's fun and it's aggressive. But every time I pull up somewhere or I come through the neighborhood, I'm always in full electric, and I just love the sound of no engine sound. All you hear is the little tiny rocks on the street. It's just a cool little thing, man. Just that all electric mode is just a different feeling that you can't really, I don't know, can't really put into words. But that pull up, when people see the i8, the reaction,
Oh, yeah.
the GoPro.
It turns heads.
It looks like a spaceship. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna look.
There's no other way to put it, man. So Pat, what is yours, Pat? What is your favorite part other than the doors?
So, and Eric even says, hey, on his YouTube channel, I'm in the spaceship today. He actually uses that. My favorite is the dual personality. It's a Jekyll and Hyde car. So I can have a sports car that has the similar performance, actually better performance than my old Corvette that I used to have. I can put it in sport mode, and I can just have that performance at hand at any given time. But when I want to go back and forth to work, I don't want to be able to, spend a lot of money on gas to get that kind of performance. So I daily drive the car. I put 17,000 miles on it in the past year, and it feels really good to just be able to manage the electric, to manage hold state of charge, so that I don't drain it so low that I can use the battery when I need to at slower speeds. And I'm getting 50 miles a gallon round trip. Why would I not drive it every day? Of course, there's people at work that are like, hey, who's the a-hole here when I got too much money? No, I'm a government worker. I am on government salary. I am not making a ton of money. I just happen to save up for 10 years to be able to get it.
Yeah.
So you wanted to say something too?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've got questions for both of you real quick, and one goes to Pat first about that universal K&N air filter that you then had to custom modify. So I'm kind of lost on universal terminology. To me, universal means all you fit, like one size fits all. But more importantly, I got a lot of clarification tonight because again, I'm not really big following the i8 community, and for the longest time, I thought it was more like the Chevy Volt and the i3, where it was an electric vehicle with a range extender. And I think what I'm getting out of tonight's conversation is it's got like a hybrid mode where that motor is putting power to the wheels, and you're driving not just on a AA battery.
Yeah, and I can answer first off the K&N. So this is the universal K&N, and it has it's dirty, obviously. I have the cleaner.
Don't get
But
too
it has
dirty.
you could see where I could take the hose clamp off. So this is the universal part, and this is the part that I built. I forget what this actually was. So this is where on my truck at the time, I could bolt this up to its intake, and I had to cut it in order to make it fit. And I forget what this was. This is not a car part. I believe this is a plumbing part, but it would bolt up, and I could actually bolt it into my truck right now if I wanted to. But what I'm going to do is take this piece off of here, and I'm just going to have the universal part, and I could put that on the intake piece that I'm working on right now. And to the second question, the electric engine in this car, the electric motor in this car, is designed for boost. So you can use the car in two different fashions. When you first start the car up, it wants to be in electric mode, and as you get to a certain speed, or you put your pedal to past a certain point, it'll kick in the gas engine. So that mid-engine actually has more power than the electric motor. So you're talking 200 plus horsepower in the mid-engine and 100 plus in the electric motor to give you 357 combined or if it's a newer one, if it's 2019 or 2020, you're going to get 5 more horsepower. But the range of the electric motor in this car is about 16, 17 miles maximum. So if you plug it in at night, you can drive it normally, carefully, and get about 16 or 17 miles out of it.
20 if I drive it.
Yeah, this depends. I mean, but if you really put your foot to the floor, you're getting power from both. It's an all-wheel drive car because the electric controls the front axle, and the engine, the mid-engine controls the back axle. But you can also just press the button E-Drive, and that's what Eric was talking about. When you press E-Drive, it tells the car, do not run that mid-engine at all. Now, granted, you're only going to be able to get a certain amount of power, and you're only going to get a certain speed, which is 72 mile an hour. That's the fastest you can go in electric. But you're going to burn through that battery much, much quicker, anything over 45 mile an hour. But generally speaking, if you're in sport mode, you're running both at the same time. Your generator is providing power for the high voltage battery to try to keep it topped up to about 11 miles of range. So honestly, if you wear that battery out, you get it on the highway, put it in sport mode, you could charge it to 11 miles. You're going to burn about 30 miles a gallon when you're doing that. And then, you could decide, I could put it back in comfort mode, and then I could hold state of charge, and it'll maintain that certain, 11 miles of range. There's so many different configurations. So when we get together sometime, I'll have to give you like the whole lowdown. There's so much information associated with this entire hybrid drivetrain that would blow even a Prius owner's mind, because Prius, you can't make all that setting changes.
Nah. Hey Pat, I was gonna add something. You said where you park at work, there, people are saying, who's that jerk with the fancy car or whatever. I had somebody at work. It's a school. I'm a government worker as well. There's a school across the street from the parking lot where I park at. I park about a mile away from where I work at. So they found out. A coworker found out that the car was mine, and they said, "Man, all this time I was trying to figure out, who at the elementary school could afford that particular car." I'm like, I don't know, but I mean, hey, it's my car. I just don't park by my building. I just, I park a long ways away, so I don't get door dings and stuff like that. I just park a long ways away.
Good exercise.
What kind of spacing do you need? Talk about the door dings. How close can you park to another car before it's like a Ford GT and you can't get out?
2 feet. 2 feet is the maximum. That's it. If you park any closer to 2 feet, you've got to press and hold the unlock button on the key fob. That'll drop the windows, and then you go in Dukes of Hazzard style.
That's really
I will pay $5 to see that.
And I will too.
All right, so you can demonstrate how to get in and out of here.
No. Save it for the next YouTube video. That would be perfect. How to get in and out of your IE.
Okay, that'll be good.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I'll still give you $5.
Oh, we had a comment.
So you hit me up. If you check the link in the description of my videos, I have my PayPal and my Venmo. Feel free to send me $5. I'll be happy to receive it.
I better see you go through a window then.
Hey, look, I had a comment. It said, we need to salute Evan, the youngster. At his age, I was not doing anything productive.
Oh, he's a smart kid, man. He does all my graphics, all those beats for the.
How old are you, Evan?
I'm 17.
Okay.
Made
Well,
the
you're
logo.
doing better than I was at 19. I didn't
He
even
made the
drive.
logo. He does all my photography. Well, most of my photography, but I've got Alex Spangler who does street speeds, and Dan, who's a local guy in Bel Air. But I mean, for the most part, he's my right hand man right here.
That's dope, man. I love
Which,
that, man.
which Dan?
In-house.
What's that?
Which Dan?
Or is
WRX Dan.
Okay.
He has two Instagrams, WRX Dan, and then Dan
I think it's Dan Photo.
Dan Photo.
Okay. Tell us
He's
about
local.
your name, Soda. What's Thick Garage? I might have missed that towards the beginning.
What is it?
Yeah.
I mean, we just were messing one night. Well, it was M Sport in 5. When I bought the car, that's what we started with. But then one night we're like, we want to add different vehicles because he wants to upgrade his car. We're gonna do some videos on my wife's new car, and like, let's think of a new name. And
He already had the thick plates for the.
for the F10. I said, let's just.
But like, does that mean anything? Is that like an inside family thing?
thick.
Yeah.
No, I grew up to that kind of lingo.
Okay.
In high school, like that's thick. This is thick. I mean, that was like thick. It's like my car's thick. I love my car. So we just stuck to.
Okay.
I was wondering what thick was too. Honestly, I thought it was a name or yeah, just like people say, what is E-Vapors? I was like, thick garage. I just wanted to figure it out on my own.
It's nice. It's like that's hot. It's thick. It's.
That's dope. Okay.
While we're on that note, Pat, and I'm gonna tee you up to explain what your license plate's about. But I'm gonna admit, the first time that I saw an i8 that was a giant fluffy snowball, and the license plate was Pure Ball, but I read that as Pure Ball. I'm like, does this guy have like a coke background? Is he a drug lord? Like,
Yeah,
I
thought the same thing.
what kind of 8-ball is this guy driving around? So if you want to tell us about that one.
Sure, absolutely. So when I was looking for a license plate, I wasn't sure what to get, and I didn't want to get something car related because I could have got i8 Pat. That was available.
We didn't have like a channel yet, or like
No.
This was all before we started the whole YouTube stuff.
But I did have my Instagram at the time, and I had considered i8 Pat. But then I'm like, that could be kind of weird too. Like, what's the meaning behind, i8 Pat? So anyway, so when I was trying to search for a plate, I actually decided to go with Pure Bell. Balboa is a style of swing dancing that she and I do. And both of us started with swing dancing. I actually started back in 2006, a long time ago. And I got involved in Balboa. So if you actually Google Pure Ball, you're going to see a bunch of people dancing around doing Balboa. And I think if you even looked at Pat Rebecca Balboa, you'll find a couple videos out there of the two of us as well. But so dancing's our thing. I mean, that's one of our main hobbies. And the car stuff, like when we started dancing together as dance partners, I really didn't have a sports car. So, that was my life, really my life. And I would get to the point where I would be dancing as many nights of the week as I could. Like I said, I'm an introvert, shy person normally. So this was like a great way to, force myself to connect with people because it's a partner dance. You're dancing really close, and it's the high tempo 1940s swing music. So we really enjoy it. That's what Pure Ball is. But I get that a lot. Pure Ball, are you some kind of baller? And I say no. I bought a BMW, so I don't have any money anymore because it's a big money waster. Or I'll say, definitely not.
You should just say, don't hate the player, hate the game.
You have to get like from Baltimore. If people thinking,
Oh, yeah,
they'll
Baltimore.
ask where you're from. Close thing of Baltimore, so Pure Baltimore is the other thing that people always think for.
So that's the plate, and I mean I can always change the plate. I don't know whether I'm going to keep it or not, but for now I think it's pretty cool, especially when we roll into a dance event. People take pictures of it. Oh my God, this guy's really he really enjoys his dancing because he's got this license plate, and it's really a rare thing. I mean, Balboa is very rare by itself. We do meet with people around the world. We go to events and we see maybe there could be 1,000 people with some of these big events, and we get to meet people or catch up with people from all over the place. And we even do a little bit of dance competition as well. One dance competition, you pick up a partner, they play a song, and it's all lead and follow. It's like I just have to just move her around, and she has to react to it. She doesn't get a clue what I'm going to do until I do it.
Not
So,
choreographed
not at all.
like that.
So I picked up a partner from South Korea who I'd never met who spoke broken English, and we took a third place in a dance competition just because it just worked out. Everything worked out. I got a good song and a great partner, and never met her before, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty wild about that. It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like the car hobby. The car enthusiasts are really into their cars, and everybody's different. Everybody's got their own thing, and it's not all the same. And it's when it comes down to it, it's kind of raw. It's a street dance, and it's a street car, so it's kind of cool. To me, it's definitely an interesting hobby. Sorry I went on. I can go on for a long time about that, but I'll just leave it there.
And
I
you
got
have more of an
another question.
explanation on your channel than you mention it and like the whole Pat review kind of deal, just for those who are interested.
Say that again?
Didn't you have more on like the dancing and all that on like the what was it, like the 2019 recap or whatever?
Pat and Rebecca do a.
Yeah. When I did a recap, my 2019 year review video, which would have been in December, I
Yeah.
did mention the dancing there, as well as I put up a little video and a link in the description to.
Well, then there you go. If you guys are interested, check it out.
I'm
You're welcome, Pat.
giving you a plug there.
Yeah. Now I don't have to pay the $5.
It's
Hello.
Just Mr. Stick Garage.
How are you?
There you go. I had another question. Is it not sure how close you guys live to one another, but why don't you? What do you think about doing reviews on each other's cars? I drives well.
I don't think anyone here would trust me to drive their car, so I'm out.
Well, Pat lives close. I actually talked to Evan about it. Like maybe we should ask Pat. Like let's go and do an interview with him and review his car.
Definitely, because we're local enough, and it's the same way with Dan and Jeff too. I mean, Eric is down in North Carolina, and the rest of us are in the Maryland, Pennsylvania area. So that'd be cool. I mean, I'd be completely open to that, and that's the one thing I would honestly like to be able to have an opportunity to review other cars myself, and not only to provide some content on the channel, but simply because I've never sat in some of these cars before, and the people that I've met and had an opportunity to even just sit in the car, or go for a ride, or even drive the car, that to me is super cool, and I'm completely game for that.
Hey, I'm down to meet y'all in DC, man. How far are y'all from DC?
An hour and a half.
4 hours.
Oh,
I'm in
4
an hour.
hours.
To add in there, Pat, to what you said.
What?
So Eric was saying at the beginning, we're talking about who we are and what we're starting at, what we'd like to do, and he mentioned a channel that we're not going to mention to try not to piggyback on too much fame. But I know that Pat and Rebecca and myself happened to be at a function with said other group of people, and I walked over and like, hey, can I get a ride? And he's like, sure, come in. So, drive around the block, get gas. He had some fun on the gas and came back. And Pat had that look on his face like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, you just got to ask. So until you break that barrier of being the shy guy in the corner, oh, I'd love to review an i8. Like, I've spoken with Pat countless times, and I've yet to say, like, hey, buddy, can I come for a ride? Can I jump in the driver's seat? But it's all about that. You got to ask. Hey, Pat, can I drive your car?
Can I drive all of your cars?
Can you drive
You're
stick?
shy, I'm not.
Ask her what her first car was. What was your first car?
What's your first car?
1974 Caprice Classic.
Oh,
There you go.
I love that.
The boat.
And then upgraded to a 1979 two-tone with the panel. What's that called? The panel.
The wood panel?
The wood panel, yeah.
classic.
That's what I
So
had,
it was one of like the Vista Cruisers, like one of the Woody wagons,
pretty much.
with the seats that go backwards.
Well, now you're a TV star with a Range Rover.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, who knew? You came a long ways.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell these kids.
Started from the
It
bottom.
doesn't happen overnight.
Now,
Well,
everybody,
Some of them it happens overnight.
He's well off. He got a Mercedes.
For us, it doesn't happen overnight.
Evan's first car should have been a Caprice.
Yeah.
You know, put a red bow on top of a Caprice and say, Evan, there you go.
Or an LTD.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, LT, that's a boat.
Remember those?
Yeah,
That's a
like
boat.
that one.
I don't think that would fit in my garage.
Oh,
My
Oh,
parents used to have one. I remember the what do you call it? The floor panels were rusted out and water would leak in, and every time you got in when it rained, your feet would get wet.
Oh, man.
That's not just the old cars there, Soto. My Volvo has, and it's apparently a big issue with my generation. The sunroof, when it drops down, it's a wind barrier, not a water barrier. And there's two ports on the side that if you don't get them blown out by regular intervals, they will back up and then flood. And all four of my footwells were completely flooded. and I have a feeling that I blew out my amp because satellite radio does not quite work in the back seats. So if you have anybody out there in YouTube land, get your sunroofs blown out. You'll thank me later.
Will do.
That's a good thing. I need to do that. My 13-year-old truck has a sunroof, and yeah, that's a ticking time bomb, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so I had a question from Instagram. I happen to remember this one. What's your guys' camera gear setup? I have mine right next to you. Right next to me if you want me to start.
Go for it.
There's my cameraman.
All right, so for me, I run the Canon G7X 4K 60 FPS. I shoot at 1080 60. Got like a wind mic and all that. And then I have two GoPros. One I primarily use for audio. The other one I just like slap it somewhere and use it. And then I have little mic, flip mic, works well. And I have a little voice box to plug it into. So, considering I have 25 subscribers, I should not have this much camera gear, but I do. So, oops.
You got to start somewhere, buddy.
I mean, what I'm saying is I have too much production for how little views I actually get.
Evan, what's your setup?
So I have a Canon T6 with a video mic. It's the Rode Video Mic Go, I think. On it. I originally got the T6 for my photography class last year for high school. So I was like, might as well put this camera to use since we're not using it for anything else. And we also have a GoPro Hero 4, I believe it is. And yeah, I think that's it for the camera.
We're looking at stuff right now. We need a video camera. We're actually looking at what Dan has there too.
Yeah, that's the #1 YouTuber camera, that GX7.
Yeah.
They're expensive though. They're pricey.
Yeah, and you should go with the don't go with the 3 because the 3's autofocus is a challenge. Get the 2. But for me, when I first started YouTube, I was using my iPhone 7 Plus. I mean, I only recently switched over to the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and I got it in 512 gigabytes, so I wouldn't have issues.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so I got it in 512 gigabytes, so I wouldn't have any issues, running out of space or anything. But I mean, I love it, and I incorporate it with my gimbal. I have the DJI Osmo 3.
We have that too. We have the what do you call it? The gimbal.
The Osmo 3?
No, we have the gimbal for the it's for the iPhone, but what is it called?
It's a smooth.
Smooth Q or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, so we got the DJI Osmo 3, and I actually bought a dash cam. I can't think of the name of it right now. I bought it on Amazon. It's $49.
Your car's right behind you.
Oh, it's not in the car. I was going.
It's in the golf cart.
It's in the golf cart. Yeah. But I bought it for $49, and it's 4K.
Wow.
And I can't tell the difference between anybody else's GoPro footage or anything.
If you want to send me a link, I'd probably pick it up.
I will send that to you. I got it off of Amazon. But I did do one video with my Canon Mark III 5D. It doesn't do 4K, but I mean it's a very expensive camera that I bought in 2012. I think I probably paid about $4,000 for the camera. But that was in 2012. But I mean, 1080p, it looks really crispy, and especially when you add that bokeh in the back. So you're doing a video, and it had a lot of bokeh in the background, that blur. For y'all, you don't know what bokeh is. I mean, man, it was a dope little video I did with my brother, who was sitting on the couch talking about some stuff, and it was well lit, and I used the 50mm lens, and it had that nice blur in the background, and it was like, I was like, man. But you almost need a camera person for that camera because it's a heavy camera. You can't put that on. You can't one-hand that on a gimbal. You need a person to operate that camera. So we just put it on my tripod and had a dope little kind of interview type YouTube video, man. But iPhone 11, and I used to do all the editing on iMovie right from my phone as well. But I saw on YouTube that when you do it from the phone, you don't get all 4K. It might only be 1080p. So I bought a MacBook Pro a couple months ago. So now I edit on the MacBook Pro so I can get all 4K.
Yeah. Honestly, the gimbal, way to go. I mean, you'll have like the smoothest shots you'd ever see, like some of these.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
Is
unreal.
that stock footage or some of your?
That's my footage. That was after Cars and Coffee.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, it's honestly, for anyone who wants to start out, just use your phone. If you got a decent one, get a gimbal. They're like $120. No problem.
Every phone is 4K. You can go back
Pretty
to
much,
the
yeah.
iPhone 6.
And the thing too, you were saying about a cameraman. One of my better videos, C8 Corvette video. Like I had a guy literally following me. I was pretending to be like I was an old Corvette guy. I mean, you see, hold on, you see the Corvette socks.
Are those New Balance sneakers?
Yes, those are new. I basically copied what my dad was wearing the day before, and it worked. So I got the white polo, the pull-up socks, the hat. You know,
The
So,
pocketbook.
The fanny pack. Where's the
and the fanny pack. That's what's slinging over my shoulder.
Well, you know, D's Rides,
Oh
Yes,
my God.
right? Yeah.
Oh
he,
my
has-
God.
Yeah, we have a picture together.
he has an alter ego called Mr. Dobalina, which obviously is, you know,
An old guy.
he's trying to make himself look like the old white guy. You know, he's got. Oh, he's gonna
He
bring
is-
it up.
That dude is hilarious.
Anytime, yeah. While you're bringing that up, I'll just say this is what I'm using. I'm also using a GoPro, so I have the Hero 7 here, but I also have it in a case, and I have the external microphone attachment. So I use that with my my wireless microphone and also a light. So my camera is smaller than the rest of my equipment, and this is typically what I use when I'm shooting here. But then I can just easily just take everything off of here if I want to go on the road and not have to worry about, bringing the other stuff along. And I
Cut it off.
have a little stick that I put on this, and then I can shoot, pretty much first person that way. Yeah, can you pan that down, because we got to see Mr. Dobalina there. It's the
I can't.
hair. It's the hair.
Yeah, the hair is what makes it. It's hilarious, but I don't know how to scroll it. Here,
Just
we'll
move-
do that.
there it
That
is.
works. Now I'm sideways.
There it
I'll
is.
just
Yeah.
just
So,
get out of the frame.
there we go. It's you and D.
Yep.
You and D there. And he's got the.
Is that Don King?
You could see, if you step out of the frame, we could probably see the New Balance shoe.
Uh,
I love
And I think Pat, those might be ceramic proed to keep them pristine white.
I am not even kidding you. I did that. I got ceramic wax and I sprayed it because I thought it was gonna rain and I wanted to make them white.
So to continue on the conversation there, following Mr. E Vapors over here, I also use the iPhone 11 Max Pro 512. I decided my previous phone was a 6S Plus, and I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna jump down a rabbit hole, and went all the way down. Mainly because my external camera gear is the generic. I've got the knockoff GoPro things off of Amazon. They're both Wi-Fi 4K Max, blah blah blah. And I've got in my office an entire stash of like the helmet cam, the drive-through cam, the chest cam, the backpack cam, the dog cam. I've never used any of it with much success. If I do it on the phone, it comes out phenomenally. I may take a page out of Dan's book though, because I just got a free thing off Amazon, one of these like voice recorder Johns, and I might use that for some audio. What am I looking at? Oh, yeah, that's exactly like what I'm using.
It's
Um,
doing
but the-
external audio is
the-
one of the better things you can do because you put this right next to the exhaust. One of my best video on my channel. I mean, I just had this mic back there. It sounded so good. You could hear the crisp
Yeah.
shifts and all that. It's the way to go.
Pull that picture back up though for a second, Dan. I just got to do another shout out on the internet here.
What of D?
No, so of the vet behind D
Oh yeah, Mike.
is
He's-
Mike,
dude,
Mr. Rusty
he is-
Zipper. I know that you're going to hear me ask you this eventually because you're a big fan of mine, and I'm a big fan of yours. Rusty Zipper, man, the internet wants you back.
Yes.
Give us some
please.
content.
I mean, what was his last video? The Super Troopers thing?
Yeah.
He's honestly, if it wasn't for Mike, I would not be as much into the automotive world as I am. Like, I would just showed up to one of Street Speed's events, and I was talking to this Mike, not the other Mike. I mean, he was one of the nicest guys. He let me shoot his car. This isn't my photo. This is the InShane Designs guys did. but nicest guy out there, honestly.
Mike's real cool.
Yeah.
Rusty Zipper, come back. We miss you.
Yeah, I want to do another review on his car.
That car was done by Shane, and it
For
was
years
designed
ago,
by
4 years
Christina out of Curvaceous Wraps. She
Yep.
put some phenomenal stuff out too. Pat, stop working on the car. You're on camera.
I got a question real quick. It's I'm not gonna say it's weird, but
Uh,
this guy has an i8. He's 6 foot tall, and I have a fun time getting in and out of the car. Having big legs. How tall are you guys? And what's the trick to get in?
Like that.
Okay, I'll go ahead. That looks like he's ready to make a thumbnail.
I missed getting that as a video as he was climbing in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 6 feet tall myself, and I watched several videos of people making mistakes getting in and out of the IA. So some of the best videos I saw, I took their advice. So what I do, I sit on the door seal.
Slide the feet up in.
Sit on the door seal, just slide on in. And then
That
when you
makes it
get out,
look easy.
when you get out, you do the same thing that Pat's doing. You sit on the door seal, put your feet on the ground, and then walk away opposite of the door, so you don't embarrass yourself and hit your head on the door.
Looks like Pat's running a lift
Guy,
kit.
can you demonstrate that in slow motion?
Yeah, slow mo.
See, for Pat, it's a little bit hard. He has a lift kit on right now.
Down to the basement.
How tall are you?
Okay, I'm 5'7".
Did you not?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I'm 5'7", and she's 5'2". For me, getting in and out of the I-8 is not a problem. I think that if I was girthier, that would probably be more of an issue for my height. But yeah, it is tricky. I think you just got to sort of take your time. Don't be in any rush, and that way you don't look like a fool. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast, right? So
Yeah. Take your time. Because I did hit my head when I first got it, like literally the first day. I had rented a Challenger. I rented a Challenger and drove from North Carolina down to Orlando. So I had fun on the way down. And when I was driving back the next day, I stopped to get some gas, just hopped out like I was hopping out a normal car, and I bumped my head on the door. But nobody was around, so I didn't have to play it off or anything. But I haven't bumped my head since that first day, the second day that I had it, pretty much.
I was gonna say, for me, like, I can fit in the back seat, which is a total pain in the butt.
Wait,
if I
there's
can
back
get-
seat?
But being like as short as I am, it does present problems getting. And anybody taller than me gets back onto the door so to get out. So that's the. Us short people don't have it any easier.
So I think that's opening up a potential YouTube video of will Rebecca drive it for like the big tall stuff that needs a tall person, and will Eric fit in the back seat? That'll be the other for the little stuff.
We might need to cut him out.
Maybe like a Suzuki Cappuccino. Will Eric fit?
Well,
I like this series.
I haven't done a car review on the i8 yet. I cannot believe that. I haven't done that
Neither
yet.
have I.
I did the Supra and everything. So I'm 2 reviews behind on the i8 and on the Lexus truck. So I'm definitely going to do an i8, and I'm going to get in the back seat and try to answer all of the questions, and then do some of the typical videos, the 5 things that I love about my BMW i8, the 5 things that I hate about my BMW i8. And get those up on the channel here. Now's the best time to do it. I mean, we're supposed to be staying home, so I mean, hey, I'll go out in the driveway or go up to the clubhouse and just shoot a quick, car review of the BMW i8, and then do the GX. And you know what? I hadn't seen, and somebody's probably gonna take it now that I'm saying it here. I want to do some of the car reviews like with my family, right? So I had the idea because I never see car reviews with like the kid seats in them. So if you're buying an SUV, like let's say for example you was in the market for a Range Rover, right? The fancy people that go out and buy Range Rovers, right? But they want to put a baby seat in the back, but they don't know if it'll fit or not.
I got one. I can't take it upstairs now, but there's a car seat in the back.
Yeah, but you know what? Those are questions that I would have like we have 2 kids, so we got the booster seat. My daughter is 6 years old, facing forward, different impact, and then the rear facing baby seat takes up. It eliminates so many SUVs. I don't care how fancy the SUV is. If you don't have the room, like we wanted the HSC Sport, can't get it because the rear facing seat, the person on the passenger side, they're sitting on the dashboard.
Volvo
that's why I bought the car I
XC90.
did.
Volvo
You know,
XC90.
I gotta make sure I can fit them.
Yeah, so the XC90. So yeah, I like the XC90, but I never been, hadn't really been around one. So I think it'd be cool if I could put some reviews out there with the car seats in there, just to say, hey, here's how it's gonna look with the car seat, and just how much room you're gonna have in the front seat when you have 1 car seat or 2 car seats.
You guys have any future plans for your cars?
Well, I kind of mentioned it earlier. Definitely going to do the wrap. And I wanted, for a long time, I wanted just the rose gold wrap. And I said, okay, that's kind of loud or whatever. And I said, man, that'd be dope with the rose gold wrap. Because I saw some dope YouTube videos of this guy overseas. And he had a rose gold wrap on the i8, man. He's a real cool little young guy into fashion and everything, right? But then I said, man, I want a custom pattern. When I met the guy in the local shop, he said, oh yeah, man, we can make any custom pattern, and he prints it out right there in the shop. So now you can have anything you want. Like, it could be our faces on there as the pattern, and he could print it out right from the shop. So I'm excited about creating a custom pattern. I like camo, so I'm trying to create a custom camo pattern, that I hadn't seen on any vehicles before, and just go for it.
Yeah, see, I have this thing going on once I hit 450 followers, which is, compared to you guys, it's nothing on Instagram or so many likes on a specific post. I have to do this wrap on my car. So,
Do it.
let's get there. Because I want to do it. Just on the sides, though, just on the doors.
Well, let's send some people to you.
Oh, great.
What's the reason? What's there's got to be some type of a backstory
Because it's
here.
funny. It's
Because, bingo. No, because,
Oh, it's
the little
It's
Dixie
from the
cup.
cup. There it is.
yeah, the jazz
Oh,
cup. Yeah.
2000.
You go to the bowling alley and they give you one of those cups. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then I was trying to tell you the camera. I found my book. It's $49 on YouTube. COOAU.
Okay.
And it comes with the whole kit. It comes with an external mic, a lapel mic you can plug in.
It comes with one?
It comes with the lapel mic. It comes with
Wow.
the waterproof case and all the different little
And it
things.
works as a dash cam. Like, it can replay, 30 seconds ahead or whatever, right?
Well, it can do upside down like dash cam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's like a GoPro. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like a GoPro, but it's $49 on YouTube, on Amazon. Sorry.
Yeah.
On Amazon.
Okay. Yeah. I'll look into it.
You use that as a dash cam then?
Yeah, I've used it as a dash cam in the past. I hadn't used it lately. I've just been using my iPhone, but I liked it because I like it now because I can plug in the lapel mic, and it gets great audio when I'm just riding in the car, and I think of something, one of my motivational moments. I can just cut it on real quick and not have to hold my phone, and it can get some dope kind of inside the car footage. And then when I want to turn it around to get that kind of on the road, dash cam footage, I can just turn it around and get some of that.
Is there glass or like a sunroof on the top of the i8, like above your head?
No, it's not.
Okay, because that's what I do with my car actually for driving reviews, which I haven't uploaded. I haven't uploaded in months. You just slap it right up there. I have the external mic. I end up syncing up audio, but it's a perfect view because you can see me driving and you can see the road in front of you, and it's one of the best angles.
It has all the straps too. It has the head strap. It has the chest strap.
Yeah, it uses the same mounting stuff as GoPro.
Yeah.
For the i8, you can always put that camera on the back glass in between you and the mid-engine as well.
Yeah, you think about it.
Just to make sure we don't lose the question that Soto asked, future plans.
Oh yeah. I can go, I guess. I want to
Future
go
plans
stage
is
2.
1,000 followers.
There you go.
You're almost there. You're
Yeah,
getting there.
Who's
So
gonna
it's-
do it?
Oh,
One more.
Wait,
One
I'm
more.
gonna go on a separate account. Hold on.
Hold on.
Beamer voice. Hold on. My other account. Shit, that's the wrong one. Hold
Now
on.
you're gonna get like
There you
10.
go.
You're at 1,000.
Oh, come on!
So what does
Well,
she
now you're at
think to
1,000
being
or
the 1,000th
Yeah, wait, what do I
subscriber?
win?
That's a good question. I don't know.
His
I
entire
didn't think that far through.
Now
Um,
you're at
Pick
1,001.
her Instagram name.
Hey, you gotta be at 1,002 now.
wait, how is that? What do I win from that?
1,002.
Murray subscribed to you. We're subscribed to you already.
Yeah, I was on my main account, but I just followed you on my other one.
I followed you on my Stay Home Daddy Pro because I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad in a few months.
Boom.
So I created
I want to do that.
Stay Home Daddy Pro, and I'm going to have a YouTube channel with my 2 daughters, and we're going to do all that good stuff on YouTube with the kids.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, man. I spent enough time working for, the military and now for the federal government. I got 5 years with the federal government. It's just getting close to that time, man, where it's like, man, I have a 1-year-old at the house, and I'm like, man, I'm just going to get all those moments of not putting her in daycare, and we're going to keep her at the house. Just moments that you can't get back in time. You can make all the money in the world, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, I get on the couch, I get to play with my daughter, I get to, go for a walk in the neighborhood, and just countless memories, you know what I'm saying? And then some of those moments we're going to put on YouTube. We better look back years from now and be like, man, we had some good times at the house, man. I don't have to deploy anymore. I don't have to, go here and go there at the whims of what's happening in the world and the military. So it's like, man, I'm 46 years old. I can call my own shots right from my garage and just enjoy life, man. So in a few months, I'll make the announcement, hey, man, I'm fully retired again, and I'm at the crib, and let's get it, man. We're going to have so many of these conversations, man. I love this group right here, man. It's almost like, man, that's why I was like, who's close to D.C.? Because periodically I got friends up in D.C. that I want to go take the car. They hadn't seen the car yet. So I want to drive the car up to D.C. And I'm like, man, who's near D.C.? So we can meet up, man, and go by the Washington Monument, man, and line the cars up, take some pictures. And
We'll meet at MGM at the end of the night.
Yeah.
oh, at MGM.
Actually, wait. What? Get exhausted. What color is your Volvo?
Titanium gray.
Okay, so we'll put you in the middle, and then we'll have all the white cars on the other side
Deal.
for the picture. Okay.
Well,
Because we all have white cars.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, my custom rap might be done by then. It might throw us off.
Okay.
I'm definitely will come up to DC, man. I would love to meet y'all up there for real once we're back to do normal and everything, man. I love to shoot at DC, man. We spend a little time with that, get something to eat, man. Do some cross-pollination on the videos, and and some of y'all big YouTuber friends, y'all can have them come out too. Y'all. Some of your friends, you can have some of your other friends come out.
Acquaintances.
We'll have to bring her Lambo for that.
You said a Lambo?
We'll have to bring a Lambo out for that.
Hey, I'm with
When's
it.
the project, Lambo? When's the project car?
Lambo off a Turo. I don't care where it comes from. Just bring it.
I won't vote.
When did we get Go Exotics? They got a.
Not Go Exotic.
Yeah, they have the.
Oh yeah, Go Exotic.
There's a Huracan there.
They have the Huracan.
Yeah.
There's a new Huracan. There's Urus. They have a whole bunch.
Yeah, he's out of
Well,
DC.
I think with enough planning, we can make a DC turnout pretty good.
Yeah.
When I reach 100,000 subscribers, I'll get a Lambo.
What are you at now?
All right.
We'll hold you to it.
Time to make 100,000 accounts. Give me a couple hours.
Man, look, you talking now. I like that kind of talk, man, because I was just thinking, like, man, it's different ways to get cars, whether you're financing or whether you're leasing. Because I'm like, would I want to buy it or would I want to lease it? Because I don't want to keep that kind of car for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I think I would look into both options. And then when I talked to my accountant this year, and we were talking about when you lease a car for your business, you can write off the whole car note. And I've been seeing YouTubers talk about how they lease cars because their business is their YouTube channel. And I have a tax ID number and everything for my business. And I'm like, man, you know what? I wouldn't mind leasing an exotic car for the YouTube channel and writing off each monthly payment on my taxes.
But the issue is the insurance. when the insurance requires you to have a certain amount of vehicles on the policy, and the insurance is going to be ridiculously expensive. That's the only thing you run into. Insurance is going to be more expensive than a personal policy.
What if you register it in Montana?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't do that at this point?
Yeah, you just get the Montana LLC, and that's why you see so many exotic cars with Montana plates.
For now.
Just because Montanians are rich, you know.
I've got
No.
my.
That's
No, it's the no taxation. It's a whole. Check on my buddy Ed Bolian's page.
Yep, that's how I know about it. That and Donut Media.
Yeah, it definitely makes it very clear that you're breaking the law and it's tax evasion. But if you do have a business in another state, you have an LLC in another state, you can put a vehicle in that LLC's name, and then you've got to decide what's important to you. Do you want to, is it worth it to keep it, or maybe you just dump it? Maybe but the lease makes the best sense, in my opinion, for something that's newer. If it's older and even like an old Aventador, you're looking at like $200,000, $240 somewhere in there in like an early Aventador that could have some problems. So you got to have some cash on hand in order to fix the problems. Otherwise, forget it. I mean, anything's possible. But then there's how do you raise the cash? You got to figure out if you're in business for yourself, there are ways to do that. But these are the things that I need to work on learning myself personally, business-wise, because I grew up in a no-risk family. My dad was a saver, and that's how I was. I was a saver, and I missed out on taking some risk and being able to do better for myself. So I got to learn, and that's something I got to do. Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out. Cars Guys is on the channel, and Dr. M3 is on the channel. We're talking about Lamborghinis. He's got a Lamborghini.
Mr. Purple Monte himself.
M3 is.
If we reach 100,000 subscribers, Lambo.
I guess.
The other thing, though, the other
she
thing
just
on that
wants you
note,
to get a Trackhawk for her first and tune it.
She just got a freaking Range Rover.
Yeah, a tuned Trackhawk though. You have a supercharger, you have all that power. Then she's cooler than you.
going back to the lease and the buy, it's not just the where's your money gonna go and how are you gonna best utilize it for your taxes and your expenses and needs. Someone like myself, I do $40,000 in a year, and the vision that I've always had of if I were to replace my S40 with keeping that as like the toy and buying the new stupid toy, it would still just take over that daily slot. So unless I want to get a 40,000 mile high mileage Cadillac lease, like it's not going to work to lease the car, and you might as well enjoy it. So buy it, put on 17 sets of tires, and just keep going with it. Make it a car, use it, buy it, enjoy it, and don't worry about the next guy. When Dave Hale bought his Demon, I spoke with him at the one call out. I'm like, Dave, I love how it says built for Dave Hale on the tag. And he's like, yeah, because I built it for me. Like, I don't care who I sell it to next. Like, let them pry it off. Let them use Gugon. It's my car. So that's, leasing is a good way to funnel money and maybe be better on your taxes. But then you're more cautious about your miles, your wear and tear. There's that guy in Europe somewhere that had the BMW that he was playing with, and they pulled his lease or they pulled his buy because he was playing with it. So it's like, if you can't really enjoy it, what's the benefit?
Yeah, I think for me, it would never be my main car. I wouldn't go over the mileage on it, you know what I'm saying? Because it would be a fifth car at that point, you know what I'm saying? To where it's a toy. It's going to be pulled out Saturday and Sunday, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have any concern over counting miles, but I wouldn't even be close to the mileage.
So you're going to come join us at the Carlisle Imports?
Where is that located at, sir?
In Pennsylvania. It's a couple hours.
Couple hours, okay. I mean, yeah, I'll drive the I-8 up there, yeah, for sure.
We'll get you a parking spot indoors.
Hey man, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I like that kind of stuff, man. I'll hit the road in a minute. Now I'm going to. I was supposed to go to LA July 20th through the 26th for the YouTube channel, but world events. I think that's probably gonna shift that a little bit over. So it's looking like we might still be under the same kind of conditions a little bit longer. So
Flights are cheap. Why not do it now?
well, yeah. Already.
I'm kidding.
For $200.
Yeah.
So,
And, Mr. Random just joined, Eric. So your friend, Mr. Random, he just joined.
Who?
He's a friend of yours, Mr. Random.
Yeah, Mr. Random. Yeah.
He just joined on the channel here.
Okay, Mr. Random, what's going on? That's a tough car, man. Photo.
And my boy Dr. M3 said hi to me, so now I feel like I'm special. So that's good.
Future.
You guys know what this is?
That's a V? No.
Yeah, it's an Infinity G37.
With a kit, yeah.
Kit car.
Oh my god, I saw that. Who posted the blue one on Instagram? Was it 2 days ago?
Somebody did. Somebody posted on
Yeah.
Instagram, but that was the one that had only had just the shell of it.
Maryland Spotter.
Oh, what's that called? The one that was in Fast and Furious. The shell. The Lycan.
The Lycan Hypersport.
Yeah. That's based off of Porsche Boxster or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. They're putting on a Porsche Boxster. That's right.
Yeah,
But,
Casey Push is doing that. He's a good channel.
Yeah. We were talking future plans. For me, real quick, I'm not. The thing is, I'm going to be running out of content. I think because I don't want to make a lot of changes. I'm not a mod guy. I never was. Maybe some exhaust stuff, intake stuff, but for me to put a carbon steering wheel in this car, it really was like I hate the steering wheel in this thing. I hate that it has that little wire built in. I just don't like looking at the steering wheel. So I said I'm going to go out and get a carbon fiber steering wheel. Same with the Motorsport side skirts that are on here. I said there's something missing here. It needs something. Why is there a gap between the tub and the body? So I'm at that point now where I'm pretty comfortable with what I have on the car. So it's kind of hard to come up with something new. I mean, right now, both of us, every day that we have an opportunity, we're doing paint correction. So we finished my truck. We did ceramic coating on that. This will be next. This is off the ground because I just, did the fluid change in the brakes. And that's going to be a future video. But I'm also, going to do the paint correction and the ceramic coating on this.
We're gonna do that. We
Yeah.
have 4 days a week. We're doing that right now.
And her VW Jetta that she just got, that is a leftover. So that sat outside for an entire year. And that thing needs to have, a complete paint correction and ceramic coating
It
as
still
well.
had the adhesive from the
Yeah.
the wrap on it from when it shipped when I got it, and we were washing it for the first time, and I'm like, what the heck? And I had to buy a whole bunch of Goo Gone to get it all off. But it was Maryland Spotter who had the photo.
You can put bags on it, Pat.
No. See, I don't want to. I think it's low enough. If you look at pictures of this car on Instagram, and it's i8.pat for anybody who has not been to my Instagram, and you look at the way the tires look on the car, people actually ask me if I've had suspension work done to it. I'm like, no, I haven't. I haven't done anything to the suspension at all. I just put different kind of tires on it, and they stick out a little bit wider from the wheel now, so it looks like they fill the wheel well better. So I don't want to slam the car. I'm good with that.
Is there 19s on there or 20s?
So they're 20-inch wheels all the way around, and they're offset, so they're bigger in the back.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah, I
tread
like
life
all-
like?
Say again?
What's your tread wear life?
So the way that there's actually a video on my channel where I go into why I put the tires on that I did. So I swapped out the original tires, which are designed to be quiet, and they wear out in about 14,000 miles. But I put on Continental DWS 06s, so they're all-season tires for dry, wet, and snow. And yeah, I went with a wider tire, 30 millimeters wider and a 5% lower profile. And so they fit just like the other ones did. There's no rubbing or anything, but I'm very, very happy with those. I would say over 10,000, maybe 13,000 miles on them. And I think I've only lost 30 seconds of tread. So
Wow.
they're going to last for a long time compared to what came from the BMW factory on this car.
Yeah, BMW stock tires are never very good. I hated the run flats. I hated them.
I hate them too, but there's no spare.
AAA. It's ended up being cheaper. It's $500 a tire. I think week 2 of owning my car, I got a huge bubble in the sidewall because they're so stiff. And then just once you switch the tires, it's so much more grip, so much better.
How many new tires, new run flats for my car are $1,000.
Yeah, it's like
For-
500 tires.
For $1,500 more, I can get new wheels and tires. Like, what do I do?
Honestly, get AAA and get normal tires because let's say you're on a road trip. You get a flat, right? You get a flat, and then you just Pat's now flexing on us. Okay. If you're on a road trip, you get a flat, you AAA like 5 miles down the road to a tire shop, and I mean, you run what, like 19s by 8.5?
20s.
They look nice and polished, Pat.
20s. But
Yeah, but I mean, they're still pretty common tire size, so you just get a regular old tire. I've been running, I think, 7,000 miles on without run flats, so no issues.
So this car doesn't come with run flats, and Eric knows that as well. But we also don't have a spare, so we're kind of limited in that department. They didn't want to put run flats on the car, I guess, because of noise. Because you're going to have really a stiffer sidewall. But these are the Continentals that I went with, and like I said, there's 13,000 miles on these, and they still look new as far as tread is concerned. And as far as they poke out more than the wheel. So if I just hide the wheel here, I mean, you can see it. It takes a little while to see the wheel. This width of this tire actually fills a little bit more of the wheel well, which is why I end up looking like I have a little suspension work when I really don't.
Yeah, that's the same thing. These are my stock tires in this picture, but I have better both.
Those are wheels I want.
I was looking at those literally today. They're on order.
It's a nice wheel.
That's tough.
If those, wait, which ones are those? Are those the
Rohana.
sevens? Okay. I'm looking at Bridgestones. I think like they're PFO sevens or something like that.
Boston makes the same ones, but they're expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna go HRE, but Bridgestones are a little bit cheaper and they look a little bit nicer. So perfect background for saving money. So Pat, I know you were talking about content. Well, I gave you the window idea, how to get in and out of your car if someone parks you in. Also, rumor has it, and by rumor I mean it's going to happen, we have a science video that we need to make. And by science, I mean we need to go down to Mexico and see who's faster. Stock, my car versus your car, me stage 1 tuned, and then me stage 2 tuned.
I agree with that. I completely agree. In fact, I think we should
And it's in the name of science.
we should start at Wolf Furniture and drive to the Mexican airport and back a few times because we know nobody hangs out there and watches cars go by really fast.
Yeah.
Those Mexican roads.
For real, the next time you're up, we got to do some science experiments. So.
One thing I was talking to him about was a salvage Lamborghini or Ferrari. It'd be
There's nothing
good. It would
to
be
do.
good content at the same time. You would have.
Well, Evan, what's your budget? Because I hear that there's a Gimbal GT on the market that needs a little bit of work.
Really?
It's a manual transmission V10 mid car.
Salvage garage. It takes money, and I'm gonna look at it like cross-eyed. Like, what do I do with this thing?
So
As long as you get one that runs, you have no engine problems.
it ran plenty fine after he hit the Sienna,
Yeah, he drove away.
and then he hit
Yeah, I
five
mean, the
other
person drove
cars,
away.
and I
It
I
think
don't know. I
Was it
don't
the
know how to
owner?
weld. I can't weld.
no, it's probably all bolt-ons.
It's carbon
cl-
fiber.
a little bit of buff pads and some new gas.
So if you decide that you want to get into a mid-engine car, the number one thing you need to have is a lift. Because anytime you need to pull an engine, I mean, you're going to be pulling that thing. That's the number one thing. So make sure that whatever garage you have has a lift. And of course, you got a bunch of people that would be glad to come down and help turn wrenches with you. That's not a problem. So
Is that an invite? Is that an invite, Pat? Because you got the easy lift and you got tools.
my lift it doesn't
Party
get
at Pat's house.
high enough in order to clear an engine. I got 2 feet, and that's
But
it. I can get my engine out of this car.
But are you telling us not to get the Gambala Mirage GT?
I mean,
we need to find the video. She's been
I
looking for
can't-
the
I
video.
I'll pull it up. I'll put it in the
It's-
background. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Just tell the tow truck drive it to was it Ricerstown?
Yeah, I'm right outside of Ricerstown. Yeah. Eldersburg.
Do you know any pages that posted it on Instagram? So I can find
I will message it to you quick.
it? Okay.
Go to YouTube, Ben Wiki. He posted it as an intro, as a thing.
Yeah, but I'd have to
Like
crop the
Apollo
whole video.
posted-
I'd have to crop the whole video to put it behind me.
What's his name? Ferretti made a whole video of it.
Right, Rob Ferretti made a video.
A little Rob
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, good old Robert Spaghetti.
Also,
He made
shameless
me
plug.
during this channel.
Shameless plug. Gotham Dream Cars. It's worth it. Highly recommend it.
Oh, I can't save this from here.
The only bad thing about Gotham Dream Cars is the road to get there is loaded with potholes.
Is there a
Horrible.
post of this
I would
somewhere?
never drive my car there.
Yeah.
Who would have posted it? I think DDE did,
Yeah,
but we don't
they
mention
did.
them.
Pat, where's home for you?
Home, I live in Eldersburg, Maryland right now, but I originally grew up in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania.
Okay,
know
so you're
what?
from
They
Coal
deleted
Town.
it.
Coal
Yes,
country.
My dad actually worked for the coal company most of my life.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking because I'm in the Baltimore area. I don't know. Normally before quarantine, 3 times, 4 times a month, in like Ricerstown Road, Falstaff, Pikesville. So I see no reason why once everything turns back on to normalcy, a cruise for lunch maybe.
I'm up for that. That'd be cool. I mean, and I know, Soto's out there, and he's near Bel Air too, so he's not that far away.
Okay.
Yep.
And we'll FaceTime you in, E-Vapors. We'll make sure that you're there, in spirit.
Hey, don't mess around. I'll be there.
Lunch
That's
truck's
awesome.
always open.
Hey,
All right, we gotta get this. Come on, what's going on, Dan?
Working on it. Hold on. Don't rush me.
He's like the guy from
Hacking man.
Italian Job trying to click his way through it.
918. Boom.
Better
I'm
studio
hoping
than
this
most of these people that are working from home that are running these TV shows.
Below the minimum allowed resolution. That's fun.
Pat, I'm just
Alright,
fanboying
good
hard
one,
that you got Dr. M3 chatting
Yeah.
in your line right here.
Yeah, I'm kind of losing my stuff. Oh, here we go.
No, this is already
There it is.
it's the wrong video. This is the second
I-
one.
I know, but it wouldn't let me post the first one.
hey, somebody just told me DDE posted the video.
Yeah, they did, but it's not up anymore. I
So
just
that's the perfect salvage car. That's one of 25.
Who was driving the car?
Ben
No,
Chen. He was a guy that had a couple extra nickels to trash 5 or 6 cars, as the
isn't that
rumors
just
have
like
it.
sick?
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I couldn't even afford to fix mine.
Well, even to get that at auction, it's gonna be a pretty penny.
Oh my
It's
gosh, yeah.
it's probably gonna sell for $250,000 at least.
It won't let me post.
Last
videos.
time it sold, it was about $780,000, and they estimate that it's now worth $1 million. So when you not that like a McLaren F1 is in a whole world of itself, but Mr. Bean has trashed his twice, Rowan Atkinson, and they keep fixing it. So not that the Mirage Gambala is in that same podium of hypercar, but they'll probably put the money into fixing it. They're probably not worth totaling it yet.
What's he doing? He lost control.
Yeah,
they're-
if you watch the video, he was speeding and he tried to. I think he blew a red and someone was going out the intersection, tried to avoid it, and just he skated on ice and smacked that minivan and it rolled.
Reports are
That
saying
car
he was
wasn't-
highly intoxicated.
Yeah, if that car wasn't built the way it was, that dude would have been dead.
I still don't get how Paul Walker died though, because what he did in New York City, we
Yeah.
should still have Paul with us.
Yeah.
Pour one out.
There was a YouTube channel that was, they talked about getting that car and rebuilding it.
I hope Tavares does. I hope Tavares does.
This
Me
live
too.
stream has been brought to you by G Fuel.
Yeah, actually, I have a. Hold on. You laughed.
Now, Gene.
I have no Passover beverages in my house.
Oh,
Official sponsor.
G Fuel.
And Krispy Kreme for you health nuts.
Oh no!
We should just get sponsored by BMW at this point. 'Cause, I mean, 4 out of 5 of us got
It's
BMWs.
it's not harder than you think. I did a Toys for Tots drive a couple years ago, and I reached out to a bunch of different companies,
Pat,
and
you're not gonna sleep all night.
Castrol sent me an entire care package. Castrol and Volvo did. I got hats, T-shirts, stickers, quarts of oil, first aid kits. Reach out to them. It's really not hard.
I got a
Still
question
trying to
about
get
my
sponsored by
mufflers.
Keys.
Any drone with Megan Racing mufflers. I have the Megan Racing mufflers. I mean, you're gonna have drone. I have drone. It's not too bad. In the lower gears, it's you're gonna have the drone, but once you start revving up, it goes away. But
Well, you have the 8-speed, right?
yes,
Okay. Those aren't too bad with drone. I was catless for a while. Now I have a Valvetronic. But
yeah. But I have added, but I'm gonna get a downpipe soon too.
yeah,
But
that's
drone's
what
not
I
bad.
did.
The drone's not bad. I'm wasting a lot of gas though now with the blow valve, just to hear it.
Did you take
Yeah.
that wheel off for weight savings, Pat?
Yes, actually, this is one of the recommendations that BMW has for the i8 is that when you're not driving it, is to just take the wheels completely off the car.
Doc
That
Brown
sounds like something
take the wheels
BMW
off.
would do.
Yeah, I mean, Doc Brown did it. He just had the thrusters, and that was it. What?
Where's the Mr. Fusion on the back?
That's right. Yes, he poured the can of beer in it and threw the can.
At 1 million subscribers, I would transform my car to the DeLorean.
There you go.
How many are you at now?
480 some?
No,
Years?
423.
I thought you had like 460, 480.
It doesn't take long. The first 100 are the hardest to get.
I don't know. I've been stuck at 600 for about 3 years now.
My wife just
No.
started hers. You know, she's posted 3 videos. She's at 50.
That's a lie. I'm at 709 right now.
That's a
This year's
lie.
been good to me.
My first 3
That's a
videos,
lot.
I wasn't at 50.
It's also about you have to post constantly. You can't like my biggest issue is I'll go to a car show, shoot a video, and let it fester for a while, and then I finally post. It doesn't need to be street speed every night. It doesn't need to be vehicle virgins, 3 times a day, but it needs to be once a week, every 2
You need to
weeks,
be
every
consistent.
third day. But you need to be consistent.
They say
Consistent.
2 to 3 times a week is what you should be doing.
You talking about YouTube, right?
Yeah.
2 to 3
Yeah.
times a week.
And it's the same for Instagram. I know people that are using like the auto posters, and they've got 65 followers and 100,000 posts. It's like, no, guys, scale it back, keep it consistent, keep the content going.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm on a consistent 7-month upload schedule. So, see you tomorrow. Actually, I'm uploading tomorrow. So, it's a milestone.
This video,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's the first car cruise from back in August.
Was that the one I was in?
Yeah.
Will there be some BMW i8 content?
Yes, there will.
Oh, cool. So I'm definitely going to recommend, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Exhausted_Outdoors.
what about
Thank
me?
you, Pat.
Yeah, I'm hurt now, Pat.
He
I'm
needs to
hurt.
put Exhausted_Outdoors on his background. So then,
I tried, but it was too
just
low
as much
res.
as Fit Garage is advertising right now in the background.
I trust me, I was trying before the show, but every single time it just wouldn't work. So instead, I'll just leave us with this because this is enough of a shout out.
Where was that taken, Dan?
That was taken at
Carlisle?
Corvettes on Carlisle. Yeah.
So if you go to my channel, and I don't want to guarantee this, but I want to almost guarantee this. If you go to my channel, I have a video of that car leaving the autocross.
Okay. I think I might have saw it.
So they actually took the C8 on the autocross?
Yeah, and I was like 3 minutes from missing it, and I walk over like, you hear it wailing on the motor, and then I see him like come outside the cones and then come out.
All right, who here would actually buy a C8 if they just had the cash in the bank? They would just go get it.
I'm considering taking my stimulus money and calling Matt Beaver up as soon as it clears.
I bought a '69 Camaro and fix it up.
I want to do a 17 or 18 ZL1 1LE with all the track stuff.
My issue, Pat, and again, you guys get to flex your doors up and your wide wheels. Not to flex, I did have a chance to talk to Taz Juchter and Harlan Charles about the C8 and about the engineering behind it, and I said, hey guys, 3 pedals, what's the story? And they say not going to happen. So like as quick as my hand did go up, I'm still kind of holding back a lot. But
you said the same thing about the.
Nice of a looking car, though.
I like it. It really grew on me when I saw it first.
Everything but the trunk. The trunk sucks.
I think the Z06 is better looking.
I think the bumper on the C8 is a little bit better than the Z06's, but the Z06, I don't know. Just whenever you see a C8, the angles, like every single time. The C7, my bad.
Eric, you were going to say something too.
No, I was saying I would get the C8 right now. I just don't want the Stingray. You know what I'm saying? I would either want the Z06 or I really like the fully retractable convertible.
Yes, I like the convertible too in that because I think it makes the very back, like this part of the i8 that it's black, makes this look sleeker, whereas with the C8 that it's colored in there, and I don't like that. Whereas with the convertible, that section is all black, and that actually makes the car look better, in my opinion. I sat in the car, I felt like it swallowed me up. And if you look at Jay Leno's garage, they brought a C8 to Jay Leno's garage, and when he sat in it, it was like, you know, you barely see Jay. I'm like, this car is just, it's too far down.
Why don't we all just chip in and buy a Lambo?
I'm really cold.
But where's it going to live? And Dan can't drive
house.
stick. Dan can't drive stick.
I can. I'm working on it. I'm buying a $1,000 beater.
He's not learning on the Lambo. We'll put it at a middle ground.
I learned on a Mustang, but then I went to drive a GTI and got completely humiliated because I just wasn't used to how low it revved in the hill hold assist, and I just kind of choked from there. I'm gonna get a manual car soon, like a cheap one. I'll learn it and I'll drive it off the cliff, and then like I was saying, my next car, I either want to do a C7 Z06 or a Camaro Z01 1LE. The reason for both of those is they're manual. I actually want a manual because I miss, for the very little that I drove that V6 Mustang, I enjoyed it so much. It was ridiculous.
We have an internet question for the BMW guys.
Oh boy, that's not me.
Well, hold on. Rebecca wants to say something real quick before that.
I'm saying, Dan, before you drive it off the cliff, I want to learn how to drive manual too.
Okay, I'll give it to you. The clutch might smell a little like toast, so
That's our neighbor's Lambo.
Your
neighbor.
My neighbor.
It's got the Reventon front end on it.
She's going to be walking out here momentarily, so she's got to.
I'm really, really cold.
It's a little chilly in the garage for her, so
start up the i8. It'll warm up the garage.
Put a laptop inside.
So the question: what do you suggest for an F10 535 exhaust?
What? Say it again.
An F10 535 exhaust. What would you recommend?
Depends what your budget is.
What engine was in the F10?
Depends what your budget is. I have the Megan Racing, but I mean, you could get Dynan. I don't like Dynan too much because they're raspy. I had a Dynan in my M3. It was just way too raspy. But
honestly, it depends on what you want.
Yeah.
I think the Corsa Touring, I believe it was called, was really good in those. I've heard one of those. Valvetronic makes a good one.
Yeah,
or honestly, muffler deletes and resonator delete. Keep the cats, all the stock cats. My buddy on his N55 335i, it is the best sound. Like, I wish my car sounded like it, but mine sounds like a diesel because I got rid of the cats. Like, it's honestly the best. Just all you gotta do is chop off the muffler, and best sound.
So the next question, while you're mentioning Dynan here, Dynan or Alpina?
Dynan.
No. Sorry. Alpina. I don't like Dynan because for my M3, I just don't like Dynan.
I like Dynan just because they're one of the only companies that makes lowering springs for the X-Drive, which is what my car is. So, yeah.
Octa M3 says twin turbo V8.
In what? The
Z8.
F10.
I don't know. I don't know what he's I don't know what he's leaning here towards. We'll find
Wait,
out.
what year was the F10? Because he was talking about F10 535.
Mine's a 13.
Is yours still an F10 body? Oh, he's talking about
Mine's
the
an M
Alpine.
Mine's
Okay,
an M
yeah.
Sport F10, but
The Alpina. He's talking about the Alpina.
Yeah. The what was it? There was like a specific Alpina car that was insane. I remember seeing something on it. I don't know.
Alpina's.
Again, I pretend to be
Yeah.
smart, but
Okay, let's talk about the Z8 while we're on the BMW.
Z8.
Dream
Why are we talking
cars.
about Z8? Why are we talking about that thing?
Because I want one.
I'm
Very
really not
hard.
a
No,
BMW
come on,
guy.
Jeff.
Manual transmission, convertible V8, gorgeous classic car styling, waste of money. I want one.
Big money waster.
These are all money wasters, all of them.
oh yeah, I've blown up mine like 3 times. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a BMW guy. I mean, I'm not.
He's not a BMW guy. He's got
You
a
got
BMW bag.
what's this, Pat? What's this?
You're wearing a BMW shirt.
This is the first import.
Oh, I don't like
I've ever
BMW.
owned. I've never owned an import in my entire life. I got to be 46 years old,
Eric.
4 days, and I've never in my entire life owned anything but American cars.
He's not a BMW guy. He's wearing a BMW badge on his shirt.
It's Velcro. It's Velcro. So when he works on the Ford, he can just put the other one on.
That would be awesome. No, I
He's got a
just
Corvette thing underneath there.
I decided I need to have some type of a persona. I'm working on cars. You know, I have this clean uniform on. It looks like I'm a real mechanic. People trust me. Once you build a lot of trust, I mean, right there, I can start marketing things pretty soon. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like the LED kit.
I
I'm
do
not
have a
gonna
question
get
for
you
Pat.
right. I'm sorry. What you say, Evan?
I do have a question for Pat. So, I don't remember if it was on YouTube or your Instagram, but I saw you saying, or I don't know if it was a joke, but you said to trade the i8 for an R8. So what do you think of the R8?
So, we were looking at R8s. Rebecca loves the R8, and that's the main reason why we were thinking, you know, R8. She just loves the car. The V8 R8, this car is actually faster stock than a V8 R8.
Really?
And in fact, I've been beside them or
But that gated,
around them.
that gated
Yeah, and
manual.
the V8 just doesn't have it. Now the V10 is a faster car, and that, in my
Waterworks says
opinion-
a V10.
the V10 is a supercar, in my opinion. The V8 will leave you wanting more. But you know, if
They have
Rebecca was to
superchargers.
get an R8, honestly, the V8 would be a great starting point because I mean, she doesn't drive a car with a whole lot of horsepower. It'll be a great first supercar, and I think that would be good. But yeah, I don't want to get rid of the i8. If we added an R8 to the garage, I don't
Maybe
want to
the
get an
double
R8. Me personally, I'd rather add the Alfa Romeo 4C.
If you bring the i8 to Harrisburg, Pat, I can set up a photo shoot with a jet black 2015 with a gated manual.
Hey, that's fine. That works for me.
All right. And anyone else have anything else? Because I had a online question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so on Pat's channel, my buddy Vaughn asked, he had a 2017 STI in the rally blue color, gorgeous. What's better, that or his current 335i? He has an M Sport 335, same engine as me, M55, but it is stock. Any thoughts?
BMW.
The STI is manual, by the way. The
that
BMW is.
they're two separate classes of cars. It's two separate driving styles. It's like, you know, in the STI, you're gonna hoon around and be a jackass all day long.
But that's
not-
the BMW job, because BMW
No.
drivers are
The
jackasses.
BMW drivers are jackasses.
Bingo.
The STI drivers hoon around. It's you drive them differently. It's two separate, you know, mindsets of vehicle. In my opinion, I like when I bought my Volvo, I was looking at Subies and I was looking at a bunch of like that size vehicle in the manual transmission. The Audi and BMW all-wheel drive manuals out of my budget. In the Subaru world, it's almost like, oh, look what Daddy bought me. depending on, how it's built, how it's performing, whatever. So I'm not saying that your buddy's dad bought the car, and I'm not saying, that's a bad thing. But it's like, what's the visual that you're looking for? What's the driving style that you're looking for? Is the BMW, is a 335 an X-Drive? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, like, those are things you have to factor in. And then what does he want his maintenance bills to look like? The Subi will run forever, pretty much bomb-proof. The BMW may be seeing a couple mechanics.
Well, here's the story behind his STI. His actually had ringland failure, the classic, lawsuit one, but his was out of warranty. His BMW currently has, I think, a 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty on it, something crazy high. So, and the BMW is an X-Drive, but it's auto, so it's a little less fun, but it's more horsepower. So it's kind of like a battle. So I don't know. Pat, Eric, Soto, any thoughts between those two?
The STI?
It's a 2017 STI versus a 2015 335i X-Drive model.
I don't. For some reason, I just don't like the STIs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth the money. Like if I
They're
were
around the same price.
if I had the money for an STI, I wouldn't get an STI. I would just get a base WRX.
What was that one that just sold for twice the cost? It was a final edition STI.
I don't know.
Like $65,000.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I made the same face that you just made, Evan. The same one when I read that.
Yeah, that's.
Stingray. It's a Stingray C8 for 65.
I don't know. I might buy Tavares's V12 Vanquish for 65.
Oh my gosh, that's a dream car. I've loved Aston Martins. That's how I found Tavares, through the V8, the V8 Vantage. Oh my gosh, they're so nice.
I myself have another question for E-Vapors in my lower screen down here. When do we get a full review of the golf cart?
Yes, please. Can we get 0 to 60 times?
You get a walk around?
During what now? During the quarantine? During the quarantine, we can do that. That's easy right there, man. To get that golf cart review. I might have to just pull it out when I do the eye
Put it on
review.
your phone and drive it around.
The what?
Just put your phone on the channel and just drive it around the neighborhood.
I want to see you doing the Gold Rush thing, holding the smoke bombs with a blue and a red coming out of it.
Oh my god.
I don't know what the HOA would say, but I just...
Man, but look, I'm just saying that's not a bad idea during these times, man. When content can be challenging, because I can't just, especially vlogging, where I can go to all my normal places I would go to. If I need to stop by the local shop that does the wraps and everything, and get some dialogue on the channel. So it's kind of okay, what are those things I can do right here? And literally, I can do all 5 different reviews, 5 things I love the most, 5 things I hate the most, a full review. I could do a walk around, the whole 9. I mean, as silly as that might sound with the golf cart. Hey man, we're talking golf cart today. We're gonna take the golf cart out for a spin today, man. Here's what I love about my golf cart. We got extra batteries under the seat. It goes 13.5 miles per hour.
I want to race yours because I have
Don't give away too much of the content now, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to race yours because mine runs on gas. You run on those fancy electricity things.
Hey, electricity runs through my blood, man. I gotta go with what I know.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Should
garage.
I swap the golf cart?
1.5 gigawatts.
Yeah.
I don't have a garage, and I thought about doing a video where I pull my car up on the curb, and I say, "Here I am in my garage," and point to the curb, and then have the drain for the sewer be and this is where the oil goes that I spill while I'm cursing. I'm sorry, Soto, I interrupted you there.
Who, me?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I was watching Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 today. I'm good.
I've seen them all too many times.
It's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Oh, way too many times. I love. Well, I'm the first one. Give me the first one. I'm sorry. Just give me the first Back to the Future, and I'm kind of good.
Fast and the
Good,
Furious
baby.
1 or Gone in 60 Seconds? If you only had one.
I've never seen Fast and Furious. Not even gonna lie.
I haven't seen either one.
Fast and Furious.
I expect
1,
that from you, Pat. I do not expect that from you, Dan.
Going
I
to
took the clips from Fast and Furious 1. So I think I said that the other night, right? I had the Fast and Furious Eclipse, the main car, And then I had the 350Z from Tokyo Drift.
Which one, the convertible or the other one?
Well, I had a hardtop 350Z.
No, which Eclipse?
The 96.
The one that what's his face drove, the
Paul was
convertible?
driving.
Yeah.
The one that Paul was driving.
Okay. Oh, the green one, the
green.
the
Mine
spaceship.
was white. Yeah, mine was white. But I love that Eclipse, man. That was a dope car. You could literally mod it a million different ways.
You have the high wing?
No, I didn't have the high wing on it. No, I had the base wing that came with it, man. I didn't get to do a lot of mods on it at the time. You know, I was a lot younger, less money. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty much just like my car. You know, I didn't get a chance to do all those mods and everything. But it was cool because Fast and Furious kind of brought out the racers and all the different affordable cars, you know, that people were, you know, putting mufflers on and turbos right in their driveway.
I had a CRX for a while.
Oh,
Fast and Furious came out.
Yeah,
The old CRX.
that's what I'm saying.
I had the suicide doors. I had no door handles.
Weren't they called? What was that called?
CRX. What do you mean?
No. I'm sorry. No, maybe I'm thinking suicide doors.
Butterfly.
That was one.
Owing or
The
butterfly.
suicide doors open like
Oh,
the opposite way.
Like,
Suicide opens
like a
backwards.
Rolls-Royce.
Like
The Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, the Wraith and that. Yeah, they have the doors that open.
That's the review that I'm gonna do when things get back to normal. I'm gonna fly down to Florida, hang out with my nephew for a couple of days. I'm gonna review the McLaren and I'm gonna review the Wraith.
What McLaren does he have again? Is it a 12C?
I think it's a 720 Spider.
720.
Really?
Holy shit.
Now behave. Watch your language,
My
young.
bad. Holy crap.
Yeah, Pat has his set to kids channels to maximize the view time.
Of course he does.
Just love my content.
Hi, kids. You want to know how to change out the tires on your daddy's i8?
So, Pat, next video should be you coming in with like one of the little the Fisher Price cars. Get that up on the lift.
Stop it.
They have them. I saw one at Walmart the other day.
Yeah, I know they're actually. What was really cool, I saw one of them, the i8s at Walmart, and I got a chance to look over it and then see some of the differences between it and my i8. Number one, the number one similarity between the two of them was the value of the car was so low that you could get either or. And
I have an i8 upstairs.
that's right, you do that. Yeah, you had posted that video. Yeah.
If I saw one for $50 in Walmart, the i8 car, I'll get it for my daughter's.
I have one. You want it?
You mean the
Yeah, the kid's car.
Power wheels.
It's a spider too.
It's a Spider.
I wish you lived close enough. I would come scoop it up, man.
Well, when we go to DC, I'll bring it to you.
Hey, I don't know how I'm gonna get it back.
Put it in the i8.
Just put a roof rack on the i8 like an old Miata.
You do the ski box. That's what everyone does.
Well,
to supercars.
No, so Vapor,
yeah, I see that,
there's a guy local who has one of the 2005, 2006 Ford GTs, and he's got a trailer hitch on it, and he pulls a little junior one behind it, little gas powered runabout, little mini Ford GT.
Wow. Now that guy is the coolest guy I've heard of.
Okay, so if you want to get that car, you go and you visit iShip Any Car, and he will ship any car you want around the world. So you go ahead and you look I_ship any car up on Instagram, and he will make sure that he gets that i8 right down to Mr. E Vapors.
How much did he pay you for that sponsored segment?
Pat's throwing all kinds of sponsorships out tonight.
Pat's out here making money, and we're just out here on the grind.
No, Eric's a cool guy, and it's anywhere in the world. He'll gladly ship anything. And I bet you if you called him up and said, hey, I want to have this little toy i8 ship, the next time you got a run coming between these two places, he'd pick it up.
Yeah, for a fee, I'm sure.
Just tell him.
Just drop Pat's name. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just say i8 Pat sent me and said that you could give me a good deal if I can do this as a tag along. And yeah.
Okay, I'll charge you double.
What's that?
He said, "Oh, okay, I'll charge you double then."
And Pat's gonna get half of that.
Yeah.
No, I don't get anything. I don't need it. I don't.
They
I'm not
paid
looking-
Pat and Red Bull.
Sponsored.
I'm just looking for some sponsors for now that I've actually hit 1,000 subscribers.
Are Red Bull sponsored?
I'm trying to get anything I can get, I guess, at this
I'll
point.
work on G Fuel.
Pat, how your hours looking, Pat? Your hours looking good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My hours are like 5,000 in the past year because there are
got
three
like two.
specific videos that are doing the best. Number one is the oil change video, and for some reason there are a few other oil change videos on the i8, so I end up dovetailing off of theirs as a recommended channel. But my year of ownership video and my owner's like buyer's guide for the i8, those three right there, those are bread and butter for this entire channel.
Yeah, I'm behind, man. I just gotta go ahead and buckle down and get out in the driveway and do my i8 review videos and some of the ideas that I had, like even because I hit the year mark in April for owning it, and even that video, how has life been with the i8, over a year. I just need to. Now's the best time to do it. So I mean, we want to put a positive spin on the things that's going on in the world. It's like, okay, you're going to be at home a lot more right now, so why not go ahead and do those videos that you were too busy to do because you're so busy blogging and going out and doing all this other kind of content. So now it's like, I'm glad you just said what you just said, because I'm sure those videos would do well out there in the BMW i8 world of people looking for i8 videos. And even do a better or a longer i8 versus the golf cart. Which one is faster? Have some dialogue and have my wife driving the golf cart or driving the i8. Just some better footage. That was just like a quick little clip that I did, like 30 seconds or whatever. But do an actual 9 or 10 minute video, man, of just the race. Who's going to win, the i8 versus the golf cart? You know what I'm saying? Why not?
I agree with you completely, and I also think it's weird that Soto keeps typing his password in incorrectly. Soto, your password is star 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 star.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, I got you.
It was I love Pat.
I love that.
Is that LUV or LOVE?
There's a winky face in it, Pat.
Is there a heart over the I?
Why is it backwards?
No, it's forwards. Leave it.
No, it's not. It's backwards.
No, on YouTube, it's
No,
back.
it's correct. It's correct. Yeah, it's correct on my screen. I'm looking at it. Look, it's correct.
It's perfect.
But on YouTube, it's backwards.
Just wait. Stop
Doesn't
moving.
make sense.
I think they're looking.
We're waiting. We're doing science. For science, stop touching stuff.
You can put it back up?
Yeah, put it back
Yeah,
up.
put it back up.
All right, hold on.
It looks like you're underwater. Looks like you can barely breathe.
That's my life.
It's not that one. It's the other one, I think. The other one.
No, go to the other one.
Yeah, that one's backwards.
No, I'm still at the part where you're typing in "I love Pat" as your password.
There it is.
There's that much of a delay. Wow.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, you want to keep it like that. I think.
Yeah. This is normal to us right here. It's right. When I do it backwards, like right now on my screen, it's backwards.
It's forward here though. It looks
I know.
perfect.
But on my screen, it's backwards.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
forward.
I think that Zoom does that on purpose so that when you're pointing to something behind you, you're actually pointing to what it is behind you. But
Oh, that's
is Pat's Garage online? That should probably be backwards. Because,
No, it's reading straight.
okay.
Yeah, read it straight.
Yes, that's backwards.
No, it's not.
Krispy Kreme is backwards on my
That's not here. Krispy Kreme is straight. See, it's only for your camera.
Oh, okay. So Krispy Kreme is not backwards.
Backwards
That's right.
on YouTube.
Yes, it's backwards on YouTube. Jesus.
But it's not backwards on my
Are you
screen.
guys pushing out to your own
Hold on.
YouTube though?
Hold on. The reason why it's not backwards on my screen is because I'm sharing this Zoom session on my YouTube. So your YouTube and my YouTube may look different.
Yeah, if you're pushing it out to your YouTube, it's gonna pull from your screen, which is showing backwards for you.
So now this is backwards, Seth, but on YouTube, it's
It's backwards to me.
It's backwards
Yeah,
to
but
us now.
If you go to YouTube and see the video, it's normal.
Look at all this though. This is nonsense.
Oh, shit. Do we have any other questions? I mean, my channel has generally been quiet. I haven't seen many posts here in the.
I think everyone's going to bed.
My
don't
question
have
is,
anything
when's
else.
Dr. M3 going to join us for the next Zoom?
Yeah. Let's get Dr. M3 in here.
Doc,
Heck,
I'm
we can
calling
get
you
him in
out
here
on
right
it.
now if we wanted to.
I'm like about to pass out, so like.
I got work at 7.
I got a couple questions from the
You gotta work
Instagram.
tomorrow?
I do. I run a college kitchen, and we have a bunch of kids that are still eating because they got to eat. So I got to
Okay.
go in.
I did get a couple more questions on Instagram if you guys want to answer it real quick.
Yeah.
This one just says, turbo or supercharger?
Why
I
not
would say it
both?
depends on the
Why
car.
not both?
V12 naturally aspirated.
Yeah, there you go. Wow.
Coming from the guy with
honestly,
a
American car,
3-cylinder.
Yeah, honestly, American car, supercharging. Anything else, turbo.
I love the supercharger whine on that Hellcat Red
Yeah.
Eye.
It belongs on American cars, turbos though. There's some like more exotic-y, like importy type sound to it that I think really belongs on cars like BMWs, like imports and all that. I got a question. Hey, hi, what's up? Hi. That's
What?
really engaging.
What do you say? Yeah, after he asks his questions, I have a question then.
I got one that says, that's obviously from a real account that says, hi, exhausted outdoors, blushy face, heart kissy face. So that's real. I'm gonna go ahead and block that, and yeah, we're good.
Okay, then I have a question.
Go for the, I just go in the mirror and do a little.
Gillette Mach 5, and my stepdad is a barber, so he taught me how to cut hair, so I know how to line my own beard up with the actual edge trimmers with the T-liner. The T-liner, I go in there, boom, 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 do all my own stuff right at the crib, man. It's free. And I have my Mach 5 razors come in on auto ship from Amazon.
Yeah, I'm still young, so I get my mother to do it. But yeah, but I need it.
I actually asked. Oh my God! Well, I usually go to
What?
and he does
It
the
saves
fade.
money.
That's funny. Yeah, I usually go to a barber and he does the fade. So I asked Rebecca. I said, "Would you do this?" Because I have a set of clippers. Because I had tried a couple things, years ago, and the clippers still work. And I said, just try the little attachment and then go up a little bit higher and thicker and thicker. And she did well. I mean, it doesn't look. Looks good. Like a little bit of a mix in here, but she did pretty well. So
Just take it down to a 0, Pat.
you should buzz in an I8 in the back of your head.
$5.
I don't
$5 on Venmo.
Okay, I'll send you 10 now in total.
Me too.
Yep.
Oh,
I'll send you $50.
Pat's gonna be making money on this quarantine.
$50. I don't think there's any possible way that she'd be able to make that I8 like
It
that.
can wait till after quarantine.
Somebody's gonna have to teach her how to do that, or I'm just gonna have to use my vinyl cutter and then put a vinyl sticker on
Yeah.
that.
Rip it off.
There you go. And let her trim around.
That'll work.
I don't know if
think
the
you should
internet's
put a
ready
vinyl
for that,
sticker on
Pat.
and just rip it off.
Yeah, the vinyl stickers are easy. Like on the car back here, all the stuff that's on my glass here, I can just print it out. I have the Cricut, and I just print that out. The same with my my polo shirts that say I8 Pat with the headlight and the grill on them. That's all Cricut. That's just an iron-on. So I mean, I sit on the computer, design it, print it out, or it sits there, cuts the vinyl, and then I just press it or I stick it on here, which is great. That way I don't have to spend extra money.
Does that
for
cut in reverse for the cars?
Yeah, you can have it. You can have it cut in reverse for the iron-ons.
Uh-huh.
For the car, I have it stuck to the glass on the outside. But if you want to do it from the inside, you can. The thing is, what I'm using here is wrap material. So this is 3M wrap, and the other side of it's gray. So the 3M wrap that I have on here is actually the color of the car. It's the closest color to the actual car. So if you looked at the pearl in the car and the white, you will see the same pearl in that wrap.
That's cool.
So yeah, it all looks the same. I could use it if I wanted to touch up
like a scratch or something, I could just print out a thing, stick it over the car. I mean, you see it, but it would work.
Very cool.
Yeah, man. Well, I definitely have enjoyed the night, man. I was looking forward to it, man. I was racing to get back, man. I don't even want to be late, man. So I wanted to make sure I got back.
We gotta do it again.
Be out in the garage and not just in the dining room this time. A little change of scene. If it was during the daytime, I'm gonna be outside. If we do something during the daytime, I hope we can. Yeah. Be outside, man, enjoying some sun in the driveway or maybe on the back porch or something.
I just lost a subscriber. It better not have been one of you guys.
A follower or a subscriber?
A subscriber. I'm down.
No, I'm still subbed.
It was probably one of the people that made a heart winky face to me too.
Probably.
So many of those.
Yeah, we gotta do this again. We gotta.
Yeah, no, it was
do it in
fun.
daytime.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Pat for inviting me and Soto for putting together the whole idea. And it was good meeting you guys. It was good meeting the guy who I stole the username from. And
Jeff was the guy that originally said we need to have our own, what do you call it, tier 2, because we're lower in the
Yeah, right.
We were both watching another big YouTube channel have their live stream, and he says we need to have our own. And I said, I'm game. Let's do it. So after that, so I want to say, Jeff by him speaking up, and I said, yeah, we could definitely get Dan and get Eric and get Soto on here as well. And a couple others we mentioned, but it was obviously it's difficult with scheduling and things like that for everybody.
This weekend itself.
I think what we need to do, and number one, thank you guys for joining me on this Easter evening. For those of you that are going to be celebrating Easter tomorrow, what we need to do for next time, and whether it's again the next one in a week or two or planned out, is we got to get our feelers out. We had Heidi and Franny today in the chat line. Like, let's get them in on it, even for like 20 minutes. Pick their brain a little bit, because I think my original thought was actually piggybacking on what Rebecca had said in other huge YouTuber last week live stream, was that where's all the ladies at? It's just a bunch of dudes hanging around, and there aren't many.
My wife to come out here.
Yeah, there aren't many women in this
and
ecosystem.
I got my non-existent girlfriend to show up.
So I've got. There's actually. Lindsay, if you're watching, go check out my man E-Vapors. Lindsay, I will tag her in somehow. She's a cool auto chick down in North Carolina, and we have to just bring the more ladies in and make it not a giant dude party.
Hey, don't forget to tag me in the you said C Garner.
Yeah.
Yeah, C Garner Speed or whatever. I can send it to you.
Yeah, well, I need y'all to make the connection. Don't send me over there. Hey, I'm E-Vapors.
Yeah, if you tell him he's got an i8, because C Garner or Clarence, he sat in my i8 when he came out to Carlisle, because they did a Horsepower Obsessed, had a whole big thing out there. So that's when I met him, and I met Cars guys, and I met Clarence and a bunch of others. So that was a good event. He had an opportunity to sit in the i8 for a little bit, and he had spent time in a C8 before any of the rest of us have. He was there for the reveal. I mean, he has a C8 now. He's a torch red C8, and he has a chrome wrap on a C7, and I think he's in Raleigh. So he's not.
He's in Raleigh?
Here's all I'm writing. I said, I have a buddy down in North Carolina with an i8 who would love to meet up and talk cars. I'm keeping it simple. I'm going to let you run from there.
Yeah, I mean, I've met him. I've never hit him up on Instagram. I don't think he knows I have an Instagram.
Hey, well, I'm the politician, man. You just made the introduction. I'll take it from there. He's in Raleigh. I'm from Durham, which I live about 45 minutes from where he's at. So we bought the Lexus truck from Johnson Lexus in Raleigh. So, I mean, I can get to Raleigh in 45 minutes real easy. That's where the main airport is, too.
We need to get you two together, because, I think, he's a great
guy. I think the dynamic would be good, too.
Eric, where are you located?
I'm at Fort Bragg. I'm at Fort Bragg. F-O-R-T, Fort Bragg. Yeah,
okay, check your Instagram now. I just set up a group chat. We're chatting.
Wow,
there he is.
Are you a firefighter, Jeff?
No, so this is actually, I don't know if you can see this. It says continuing the climb or something like that. So I've been, since 9/11, I've been very connected with my local fire departments. Not on a volunteer basis, but again, in that giving back to the community. My synagogue actually does a Thanksgiving dinner for them every year, and I do whatever reaching out that I can. Through them, I met the guy running this program. So our state capitol has a whole bunch of steps, and we ran up and down the steps, totaling the entire stair count, to the top of the towers. And a lot of the guys showed up in full turnout gear, and I'm like, I can't do that. So I actually have a Harrisburg City, there's my stuff, a Harrisburg City Fire Department job sweater. I threw that on, and I went up and down with these guys, and they're just cranking it. I'm pouring sweat. I'm like struggling, and they're just like, whatever, this is no big deal. But that's the background behind this. I'm very proud of my local Harrisburg guys. I also have friends in Baltimore that run, so it's fire runs deep. Ladder 49 brings me to tears every time, but I give money to them. I don't go into fires. I know better.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, man. I was on my live earlier. I was at my dad's house, and he's a retired fire captain. So I was showing some video of his some of the helmets that he's worn over the years. But he retired a few years ago from the fire department, man. So now he rides his gold wing, and it's triked out. Him and his friends, they ride up and down from here to Texas, and he just living a good life right now. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, I had showed that earlier on my live, man, some of his helmets, man. But yeah, he's retired now, but it's a dangerous job, though. Really, really dangerous job. So it's good that you can make it out of there in one piece,
I got a new subscriber. Get exhausted.
Dude, we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got 27,000 watch hours, or watch minutes. I'm only at 450 hours, so I'm getting there. I'm almost at 4,000. I'm getting there.
I'm at 700 some hours.
I'm at like 2.
I'm a long ways away. I gotta get going.
Yeah.
I just gained, since yesterday, I gained 19 subscribers. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know why people watch my stuff.
You know what it is? It's the we talked about this the other night when we did kind of the pre-show. It's YouTube suggesting your stuff because you have regular upload things, and it's what gets them money, so they're trying to promote your stuff. And the same thing. That's why I've done Keys Motorsports. I look forward to working with them in the future. But I find one video on how to change oil in my car. Next thing I know how to install an entire freaking engine in my car. New turbos, lowering springs, coilovers, everything. I mean, that's what happens.
Hey, man, I'm looking at C. Garner page, man. Hey, he got the Corvette.
Yeah, he got the C8.
He's got some toy.
Yeah, he's got the C8 just recently. So yeah.
Have you met him before?
Oh yeah. He came up to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, with his C7 on a trailer, and he was pulling around. What did he pay for that truck that he was driving? Like $100 or something.
Yeah.
He drove it all the way from North Carolina.
His C7 was wrapped by Shane.
Yeah, I met him on multiple
Shane
occasions.
Designs. Yep.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Really nice guy.
He's tied into the SS717 crew.
Yeah.
And I bet that too. I'm originally from the area code 252.
Yep, that's where that comes from. Yep.
Okay, so gotta make it E-Vapor Speed 252.
Don't look. Hey, everybody's stealing names these days, so I might as well jump on board.
Exactly. Get Exhausted, never heard of him.
Yeah.
Nah. Truly, though, it works. This play on words. It works.
Man, that is dope. Right, in Raleigh?
Yeah, he's in Raleigh. I just got a comment here, Up to Speed Media. Been stuck at home, so busy, stayed busy with car projects with my new C8 Corvette, he says. Installed the 5WB carbon flash ground effects, which is almost impossible to find these days since they stopped making them, and that's true. Any of the carbon stuff, any of the extra parts that go on that you want to order as an option on C8 Corvette, it's impossible to find, and even some of the colors that they plan on releasing.
Who's that, Pat?
Say again.
Up to Speed Media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, up to Speed Space Media. Yep.
Old man Dan here approves of your purchase. Actually, I guess disapproves because Old man Dan's only supposed to like C4s.
Yeah, you're only supposed to. Yeah, the C3, the C4, kind of.
C4's pushing a little bit.
Yep.
Once they switched out the tail lights, it's over.
I'm at 393.
93.
Let me hit
All right, I'll work my
2,000
magic.
followers.
Hold on.
See, Instagram followers, I don't think really
That's
means
easy.
anything, does it?
Nah.
No, when you get to 10,000, you get to do the swipe up thing where you can link it to videos and stuff.
Wait, that's when they made it?
I believe
Okay.
so.
Like,
I'm at
like Eric here.
I'm at 884.
Like you.
Oh yeah, I got swipe up on IG.
Yeah.
Lucky.
He's got like
OG with the IG.
Man, when I tell you I have over the last 2 years worked IG so much, I'm talking about liking to the point where IG would say you can't like anymore today. You can't send
Wow.
more messages today. Liking and commenting on people's pages and just doing all that every day. I'm talking about you can see how many pictures I posted on there.
See,
I
I
mean, I
just
posted.
piggyback
But
off
when
of
it
you
comes
guys.
to YouTube, like Instagram does not. I mean, it's good to build an Instagram page, but when it comes to YouTube, it doesn't.
It doesn't correlate.
I don't say matter. It doesn't matter, but
It doesn't.
I think it does. I think they work together really well because if you have a good
They work
Instagram
together.
following, like if I were to hit up, any of the big guys like the 717 group, I can just be like, "Yo, I got followers, so I'm more reputable," and that we get the ball rolling. I mean, I started talking to Nick with the. Well, I guess he still has 2 Camaros, but he used to have 2 ZL1s. Started talking to him. I've just talked to Jack with the Dirty Max.
Baby Max on the
talked to a
way.
bunch of them. Yep, Baby Max on the way.
Jeff, you're a photographer, aren't you?
I dabble. I'm not like Alex Spangler over here, but I take pictures. Yes.
I got his stuff on my wall. I mean, if this green screen wasn't here.
A lot of it is I've got my phone on me all the time, and that could do more than I could do with a manual SLR. So I just let it do its
The
thing.
best camera is the one you have on you.
And
It's sort of like the favoritism.
but it's not just picking a camera. It goes back to my original statement of I just go places. So I kept in touch with Matt Beaver, and I was getting a buzz every time the new cars were delivered. So I was stuck at work when Mike and TJ had their vets delivered, but I saw the one that what's his face got, the Rob Ferretti car that he sold, and the other one who went to R8 or R3 Motorsports. And again, it's just like, hey Matt, can I come by and shoot? So am I a photographer? No. Am I an amateur ambulance chaser? Yes.
I just don't like the favoritism. Like I've dealt with different photographers, and they lean to posting pictures of the cars that have followers.
Yeah.
That's because they can tag them in it,
Grow their brand.
and it
Tag
builds it
them in
out.
but you pay these people to do photos, and they're posting pictures of other.
Well, you can throw your boy out the window with his phone, and just have him
I know.
take some pictures.
I just don't,
He's expendable,
I'm
right?
not going to mention any names, but
No,
I
I
just-
can. I've got a couple people lined up that I had no idea what they would charge you, or if they would charge you, because I know they're looking to break into the automotive world. And they've done some car stuff, so I have no problem setting up an intro there.
It's hard when you own a car that looks like it doesn't and it's not unique. I mean, I get photographers asking me all the time, "Can you come? I want to shoot your car."
Yeah, 'cause
So
it builds their following. It's for their own good.
But I'm saying I get photographers that are posting pictures of cars that aren't, they're not supercars.
Yeah.
Okay, and and they get
Because they're getting paid for those.
they're reposting them, but I'm paying them. But they're sharing those pictures that they took of other vehicles, and they're not sharing mine. And they're not supercars. My car is actually faster.
Yeah.
If
Well, I think
better,
it's also
and more expensive
When are we gonna
than
race?
that car.
you also may want to target your photographer. So again, I'm not sure which Dan you're working with, but there's the Dan here in the area.
No, I'm not talking about Dan. I'm not going to mention names. I'm not
Well,
talking
no.
about Dan.
Like the one guy that I have in mind, he happens to be a BMW guy, a tuner guy. Like, so your car is really like what he
The
blows
perfect
out
one,
to
yeah.
his audience. So it's not just saying, oh, here's a cool looking car, let me push that out to car guys. It's here's a BMW guy shooting BMWs for the BMW scene.
And then that grows your followers too, because a lot of people that follow that guy are in it for the BMW.
We have a guy who's posting pictures of a model make and BMWs, like, you know, a 3 Series or.
Are you talking smack on my 3 Series?
No, like less
You're
less powerful cars than
I'll
mine.
validate you right now. It's got to be a valid concern because, yeah, you expect like something, anything. Just
You're paying for
mention
the service.
something.
Like you need something out of it.
You should share. Like you have a
Yeah.
BMW on your Instagram that is not as nice as I'm sorry, it's not as nice as mine. It's not. It's a lower grade. It's not a 5 Series, and they're not sharing my pictures, but
See,
they're
it's
sharing other pictures.
Do you have
It's a
any kind
shame
of
you're not up in
contract
my
with
area,
them?
because I know a lot of young photographers who are trying to get into it, and they will gladly shoot your cars for free.
We've drawn up
And they'll share it.
before, so
And they'll share it, yeah. And they got a pretty
Alex-
decent following.
Alex Spangler, he's a great guy, but he likes sharing street speed.
It's because it's what gets him followers. It's all for his own gain. Because then that's how you found him, I'm assuming, right? You've seen the good photos, and that's what
I met
brought
him
you to his
through
page.
Pat. I met him because I saw Pat's pictures.
Yeah, he actually took. He asked if I would come up, and we took some sunset pictures up around Columbia, Pennsylvania, next to the bridge and all, and they were great. I mean, I even took some video of him shooting photos, and but I've met up with a few photographers, especially the
You took
last
this
one that
picture.
I did.
He took this picture.
It's a great picture. I mean, yeah,
He's a great guy. I mean, he's
This
great.
one my buddy Andrew did for free. I mean, it's just who you know. Honestly, the community up where I'm at, I really love it. Like, we're tight. We all know each other. I help them fix their cars. They take pictures of mine.
Well, okay, guys, we're 10 minutes shy of midnight.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we are.
It is almost April the 12th. My dad's birthday today, April the 12th. So I got
Well, happy birthday, Mr. Pat.
Pat's dad has a cool story for another day.
What's that?
Your dad's got the cool war story and stuff, doesn't he? Or no, Cole story. You and I were talking about a story somewhere along the lines.
I just have one question. If we were to continue this, which is looking like everyone's enjoying it, could we maybe do like we bring in, because I got Beamer Vlogs in here in Pat's channel. He would like to join. Could we like maybe grab people in? They can ask questions live for like 5 minutes and do them out in new person.
Yeah.
You know, or they can even stay. I don't know. That's something that I would think would be good because it's a little bit more engaging, and then you have people waiting in the queue.
I think that's a great idea.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Alrighty, have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for the invites, and it's been great talking to you guys as always.
And
Yeah,
thank
we'll
you,
see
Cole.
you.
Say it again.
Oh, I was saying, we'll see you, man. Hey, next time you look up in the sky, man, it might not be an airplane, it might be the spaceship, baby.
I like that. And hey, thanks to all the viewers that
Yep.
followed along, or those that could actually be replaying this, because I believe I'm going to leave mine up for replay as well. And it's always great to see everybody here, especially in our quarantine conditions. We're all stuck at home, so at least we have an opportunity to chat, talk each other's ears off a little bit,
Yeah.
answer some questions.
Yep. It was great, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right.
good night.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
That was an awkward point when we all leave and stop our